to the 90-Day Fiance Fridays crew.
Welcome, everybody, to 90-Day Fiance Fridays. And the gang is back together, though I think Captain Picard is on a cruise ship. But nevertheless, the gang is back together. How's everyone doing?
What's up,
Hi.
guys? Hey.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey.
So
what are we sipping on?
I'm
Water.
water tonight. I'm sipping on a wine cooler.
Oh.
I should be sipping on something much more strong based on the weekend. Well, the past couple weeks I've had, but nah, a little wine cooler. That's all for me. I've been drinking heavily this week, so I'm trying to,
I
give
feel you that, George. And also, yeah, I feel you completely.
I need to give my liver a break, but it's been rough, guys. It's been a rough week, so drinking is nice. I am not upset with drinking.
I see. I can't drink because that lands me in the hospital. So unfortunately, I had to quit alcohol.
Oh, I can't do that. No, I can't do that.
I mean, honestly, it was so bad. Okay, so like I'm going through chemo. It's not for cancer. It's autoimmune issue that I'm dealing with. And I stupidly went out. It was like 2 weeks ago, last week, and this is so dumb. Next day I go through my thing or whatever, and like I couldn't stop vomiting. And Steve, I'm calling him, like I'm like, oh my god, someone help me, blah blah blah. He's like, he literally looks at me, and they had given me charcoal medicine, and so when I was vomiting, it was like black. He
Damn.
was like,
Oh.
he was like, I can't go in there. You look like the Exorcist. He's like, I'm really sorry, babe, but I can't do it. You literally look like the Exorcist right now.
Not today, Satan. Not
He was
today.
like, he wouldn't. Listen, I was like on the toilet vomiting my guts up, and he was like standing, like he wouldn't even come into the bathroom.
He's like, he's like, the last time your tongue was this brown was when you were eating ass.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
But lesson learned, I actually had to cut out sugar, dairy, a lot of things. So unfortunately, no more alcohol for me for a while.
Well, sugar and dairy is like 90% of my diet. So
I
like,
know. I was like, but you understand, when you're vomiting 8 times a day for like 4 days straight, you're like, I'll do whatever it takes.
True.
It's not fun.
Right. You're right. You gotta compromise.
Oh, by the way, I think Sophia's in the house, which is like, we had her on one Sunday. She's like the expert pole dancer, stripper extraordinaire.
Oh, I remember.
Yes.
You told us about some Portland strip clubs, I believe.
Yeah.
Mary's, I think it was. If I'm not mistaken.
And it's like a world famous one too.
I hope she doesn't mind, but I found out how much like one song, one lap dance cost from her.
How did you find that out? I'm curious.
No, I mean, I asked her, but I hope she doesn't mind if I share. So I'm gonna share, and then if she doesn't want me to like share, I could always edit this out of the podcast. But so I'm gonna say, if that's okay, Sophia. So I asked her for one day. I asked her how much is one dance in your club, and she said, but there's more information though. So at her club, it's like you can go fully nude at her club, like bottomless. And her club so anyway, it's like, and I think she gets to pick how much she charges. So it's for one dance, it's like $50.
Whoa! And how much is it? Is this like for one song?
Yeah, for one song is $50.
What? That's crazy.
No, that's a big baller stuff.
Because say for instance, somebody wants a dance for like 3 songs. That's only like 10 minutes, and she made $150. That's wild. I was Googling. Okay, so I have no life. So I was Googling earlier how much doctors make because I was curious because somebody said online that they only made $75,000 as a resident. So I was Googling it, and I was like, okay, so when a doctor graduates, they have to be a resident for 3 to 5 years, sometimes 7, and they only make like 60 to 70,000 a year as doctors, as residents. So she makes more than doctors. I'm just gonna put it out there. She does.
True. So yeah, it's very nice to be amongst the rich in the audience.
I know, like that's $150 for 3 songs, and say for instance, her shift is 6-7 hours. She's
Mhm.
making so much money. That's crazy.
It's
True.
crazy.
Hmm. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail the show, but what were we talking about before that?
Uh,
Alcohol.
yeah, we were
Alcohol.
talking about alcohol and how much I don't want to stop it, but Coco has. I think that's what we were at. But I'm
Yes, I don't want
sorry.
to throw up black shit anymore. I'm done.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sorry that you can't have alcohol because I didn't know alcohol hurt anyone. So I didn't know that it hurt you. I'm sorry.
Well, because it's sugar,
Yeah.
so when it breaks down inside the body, it was so bad. They had to prescribe me an anti-nausea that's usually given to women who have more sickness due to pregnancies.
Well, what if you do like something with no sugar, like a vodka water?
I mm, I couldn't hold
Don't want
down
to risk that.
water.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so if you can't hold down water or broth, like alcohol would like literally kill me.
No, yeah. Alcohol turns a lot of people into shitheads. So if you can live
Yeah.
without it, more power to you.
is this temporary? Like when you stop doing this, will you be able to drink it again?
I mean, sure, but after so what I do is I do so it's once a week. I do these infusions and it's about for 6 rounds. And then I do it once a week for 12 weeks. And then I'll do it once a month.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it's gonna be a few months.
Mhm.
Wow. So
But I am
basically,
going for 2 weeks to Tulum in Mexico, so
Oh,
yay.
that's where they filmed Hunt for Love.
wait.
Yeah. So
Well,
yeah.
you now have to go to where they filmed it and like take pictures of it.
Well, because of my work, I'm staying at a very, very like 5-star all inclusive,
She's staying
beautiful.
somewhere else. She's
Yeah, it's
better
like the
than
place that I'm
TLC
staying
money.
at. The place that I'm staying at usually goes for $1,500 a night. And I got it with because of my work, I got my discounts and I'm paying like $50 a night.
Damn.
What? Oh, so
Yeah, I have really good perks.
you'll be on a totally different side of town from
Are,
where
are
Wait,
perks are perks what you call your boobs? Oh.
No, no. But
they're perky.
yeah, I am very perky. But it's gonna be like White Lotus, I feel like.
Mhm.
Well, that sounds
When are you leaving, Coco?
What?
When are you leaving to
Oh,
Tulum?
it's not till July. So 8 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Well, I hope to see you still in Vegas. So yes.
I know, I know. I'm like a mysterious enigma that doesn't even know like where she's at right now.
So speaking of Tulum, should we get into our topics?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let me pull up the list real quick. So we'll just go from how I wrote them in that order. So let's see. The first topic is related to Hunt for Love, and Jay is like the African American dude who's one of the new cast members. So I know he's been posting a little bit of tea here and there. Um, One of the questions I had posed just like out in the ether, meaning like I just posted publicly in a comment, meaning like I didn't know the answer, but I wanted the T answer. And the question I had was I was trying to figure out when the new cast members come on, like are they required? Because like, can the new cast member go flirt and talk to and fuck with another new cast member, or is the new cast member required to talk with a 90-day person? So I got that answer.
Oh, I was
Wow.
wondering too.
Okay, so
I thought it was a free for all.
so the best way I could explain the answer to it is it kind of was a free for all in terms of if you're, let's say, you're a new cast member, no name guy, girl, you can go flirt with and talk to and screw around with like another new no name person. But so it's kind of up to you. But what I was told was, as far as like the final edit of the show, if you're not like flirting and talking to with like a 90-day guy or girl, you're probably all that it's going to be cut if it's not related to like a 90-day person. So you can go flirt with a new guy and do whatever the hell you want to do, but that part probably won't be like featured on the show. But if you went and like specifically sought out a 90-day person and was flirting with that person, then you're probably going to be featured heavily on the show. So that's kind of how it shakes out.
Okay, well, that's kind of obvious because it is a 90-day type of franchise. So it's just like, why would we
Mhm.
want to see influencers influencing each other and fucking each other, basically?
Yeah, and then I like so on the official 90-day account on Instagram, they had like meet the singles, and they had like I don't remember how many people, but like 8 or 9 people, where they had like they named the new singles. But another kind of piece of tea or whatever of tea is like not all the singles on the show are like named people in the marketing materials that TLC posted. So there's more singles than they listed, but the ones that are like named in their Instagram posts are the ones that are gonna be like featured the most, and probably the ones that canoodled with the 90-day people the most. So anyway, there's gonna be more singles, but the ones that are mentioned are more so gonna be featured on the show, obviously, because they probably were smart enough to like talk to 90-day people. So there's that.
So was there more singles than 90 Day people? Like, was it more on
Mhm.
purpose? Or
Um,
people? Because I'm just curious. I know they haven't released all of the names of the non 90 Day people. So I'm wondering if, like, for every contestant, there was
mhm,
one person, or maybe for every contestant, there was more, in
mhm.
case people didn't vibe with each other. Like, I was just curious
Yeah,
how they were going to do that.
that's a good question. I don't have like a head count, but my intuition is there were more new singles than like 90-day people.
That's what I'm
Um,
assuming too. Because some of the singles, like Chantel, she could have been messing with a boy or a girl because she was.
mhm,
So I was like, maybe they did it on purpose where, because, if they're like a guy for each girl or a girl for each guy, what about the bisexual people or the people who want to, fool around? So yeah, I was assuming there would be more people in case, people wanted
mhm.
to try something different.
Yeah, and then the other part of the tea was so anyway, kind of the other part of the was like some of the new cast members, they're kind of being very publicly saying that they felt kind of like bamboozled in the sense of when they went on the show, they weren't told it was for 90 Day Fiance related show. They just were told, it's like I don't know exactly what they were told, but I'm assuming something along the lines of, hey, you're gonna go to like Mexico, Paradise, a dating show in a tropical area, that you're gonna meet with singles. So they probably all had like a certain thing in their head. And then
Are
when they
they
went
dumb?
there,
Didn't they read the contract?
well, I don't think the contract said this is like 90-Day Fiance.
Well, they had to say
Yeah, well,
something.
okay, so
Yeah,
I'm,
or Sharp, something to deal
I'm
with like Sharp
gonna
Entertainment.
I'm gonna chime in because this actually happened on MILF Manor. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the women came forward and said that they didn't know that this was gonna be a show where they were dating younger men and their sons were gonna be involved. They said that even in the contract, because a lot of them were really upset, they said even in the contract, like it didn't have a name, it didn't say MILF Manor, it just said
Mm-hmm.
reality dating show. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the application, it asked them for like their children's names, ages, and contact information, and they assumed like maybe if they found a date with someone, they would want to meet their kid or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of so this isn't like a new practice because they did this with MILF Manor where they're very deceitful. I don't want to say
Mm-hmm.
deceitful, but like they don't give you the full information because a lot.
Yeah.
I actually spoke to one of the women from MILF Manor, and she said that she never would have done the show if she
Mm-hmm.
knew that their child, their son, was going to be involved in the way that they were. And they didn't actually know that they were going to show up. Because I was like, when they showed your kids show up there, your son, and y'all walked out, was that honestly a surprise? And they were like, it actually was. They were like, we
Mm-hmm.
actually were forced to give them our children's names and information and how to get a hold of them, but we thought it was because it's a dating show, and if I end up with the person on the last episode, maybe they would want my son or daughter to come and meet the person. They didn't know what really was happening. So I think that this guy is telling the truth. I think that they didn't tell them what was going on, and Sharp is kind of, they've done this. This is something that they've done in the past.
Yeah, I think it's a similar situation where they're totally in the dark, and kind of what they step into is not what they expected. And I feel like they definitely felt bamboozled based on that one cast member, new guy, where he was kind of spilling the tea. He seemed perturbed. I feel like if he was unhappy with it, if he was happy, he would keep his mouth shut. If he's unhappy, then he's kind of like he's talking.
I'm assuming he's not happy. Oh, wait. Andrea says, does this mean that the ones not being shown on the show will still get some money? Excellent question. Okay, so you are paid based on aired episodes. So a lot of times you'll sign a contract and it'll say between 8 and 10 episodes or between 8 and 12 episodes. They don't guarantee you what type of airtime you're going to receive. So say, for instance, he went on the show and he was only talking, say he had a connection with another single, not a 90-day person. We're not going to see him very much. And even though he signed a contract, there is no guarantee of how many episodes he would be in. So he's going to get an episode fee per episode that he made it in. But like you said, Shabooty, if you ended up talking to someone that wasn't a 90-day cast member, then they're not going to air that. So he might be on the show and he might be on a few episodes. But if that was the case, that might be why he's upset. Because he figured out how many actual paid episodes he's in based on how many were in the series, and that might be the root of his anger.
Yeah, like if that's the case, he's definitely going to get hoed. Well, maybe not this person in particular that I'm thinking of, but just in generally speaking, the new cast members that go canoodle with the new people and they get cut out, they're going to be hoed as far as their payday.
Yeah, and I think a lot of them didn't know, and it's not fair because they didn't. I'm pretty sure the producers were trying to kind of control the situation, like, oh, you should talk to this person, but they might not have explicitly said, hey, you need to talk to the 90-day. Well, if they didn't even know, if they don't watch 90-day cast, they might not have even known they were there with 90-day cast. So I don't know if they were explicitly trying to set up people with certain people or not. So yeah, he might be upset because he went in there thinking that he wasn't doing anything wrong and he pissed off the producers without even knowing.
Yeah, so the common sentiment is the singles felt they were kind of bamboozled because they weren't told they're going to be on a 90-day spinoff. They were probably expecting more of a traditional, dating in paradise show with singles. Instead, they were, lumped in with these 90-day fiancé maniacs and lunatics. So,
Not
Yeah,
wrong.
I
yeah.
mean, they probably thought it was something like Love Island or, one of the other dating shows or something along
Mhm.
those lines. So they probably felt a little cheated because 90 Day Fiance, it's a big deal, but you don't break off into mainstream the way you do when you're on those other types of shows. There are people who are on those other dating shows that have 1 million followers and, they're doing big things, right? They're on TMZ every day. So they might have felt a little bamboozled because they're like, oh, it's just 90 day. You're only going to be famous within the 90 day, or even if you're lucky. Like if you're not lucky, they won't even know who you are. So they might feel like a little,
Mhm.
oh, well, I sold my soul thinking that I was going to get 500,000 followers where you're not. Like you're definitely not. So they probably feel like they got bamboozled.
Yeah, and then going on to our next topic, but it's still based on the same show. Did you see my tea about? Well, it's her first name, but did you see my tea about Dr. Shelby?
I did. I did. So that was a little shocking because a
Mhm.
doctor doing a raunchy reality show, right? Like you go to school for that long and you
Mhm.
do a raunchy reality show. I was a little shocked by that. So I was like,
Mhm.
what? So this lady had a good job. She was a principal and
Mhm.
decided that she was gonna show up to film the show and not show up to her job. And we've seen a lot of people do that. I think Riley ended up in that type of situation where he ended up losing his job over the show. And I can't imagine why someone would go to school to become a doctor. There's a doctor in her
Well,
name, ER.
just for the record, I don't think she's a medical doctor. She just has a doctorate in what? Maybe
Well,
education, not a.
yeah. Okay, so that's a good thing to specify. When you go to school and you get your doctorate, they could very refer to you as doctor. Just like if you go to school
Mhm.
to get your law degree, they call you Esquire. It doesn't mean that they practice medicine or law. It just means that they went to school and they received either the master's or doctorate or
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah, good call because she's not a medical doctor working at a school.
Yeah.
Right. So, because there's actually a lot of people there's some people that I know personally that have doctor and Esquire in their name and they don't practice medicine nor do they practice law. They just went to school long enough to get that. Oh, I believe you need a PhD to be a principal. Wait, is that serious, Pineapple Girl? A PhD? That seems like really high just to be like in charge of a bunch of elementary school kids. I didn't realize that. That's kind of insane.
I
True.
think
Well,
you need a PhD in education.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's a lot. That's a
It's just
lot.
it's weird. It's weird though that like if she has a PhD in education and so you think she's. It's weird that so she's smart. She's book smart, but it seems like, and again, I don't know her, so I don't want to shit on her too much. But it seems like she's not. You could be book smart, but she's not very like life smart. It sounds like.
No. No. I mean, if
Street
if she
smart.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, regardless of your education level or how smart you are, fame is something that almost everybody wants. Some people
Mm.
will adamantly not want it, but for the most part, the masses do want it. And even if someone with a PhD, who has made very good strides and steps to make sure that she's doing well in life, still chose to be on reality TV, right? And
Mm.
you would think somebody who went to school for, it says, oh my God, I looked it up. It says it could take up to 7 years, 4 to 6 years to complete a PhD, could throw it all away. And I don't want to say throw it all away because just because she got let go from this school doesn't mean that she can't work in the education system. It's she still can. She didn't do anything illegal. So she still can, but it's just weird that she would do it for such a low end spinoff, right? Like, because this is kind of like a Love in Paradise. It's not even
Well,
like,
yeah, and it seems like she's immediately regretting it because I heard she like deleted her Instagram. But do you want me to read my caption of my T post?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
Okay, let me, and just for I know people may not know who I'm talking about because sometimes like the T is so ahead of the game where the show hasn't aired yet, so no one knows who the fuck I'm talking about, so the T doesn't really go that viral. But trust me, I'll probably repost my post once the show airs. When people see her on TV, I'll reshare it, and then people will be like, "Oh, that's who I was talking about." But so it's on my Instagram. It's the newest post. So her name is like Shelby. This was in like Houston, Texas, and then I'll just read what's on the graphic, then I'll read the caption. So I put on the graphic like elementary school principal canned by school district for playing hooky to film 90-Day Hunt for Love, and then star or asterisk placed on admin leave and recommended for termination allegedly. So okay, here's my caption. Shabooty hot tea alert. Dr. Shelby from the upcoming 90-Day Hunt for Love has an interesting backstory, and being on the show may have allegedly ruined her career. I know that's like saying a lot. Anyway, she has since deleted her Instagram, but let's rewind. She was a Houston area elementary school principal, and she took 2 weeks off last September to film 90-Day Hunt for Love. It seemed her absenteeism didn't go over well with the school district, which put out a statement to the media, quote, as part of the culture, as part of the culture, we expect our employees to show up for their scheduled workday. When any employee fails to meet these basic expectations, it is standard practice to put them on leave while HR completes an investigation into their behavior, end quote. And then I go on to say, so the school district was already on her ass for missing work. And then I said, wait until they see the potential for debauchery on the show. So Dr. Shelby is currently on administrative leave and the show hasn't even aired. But it sounds like she chose a reality show slash fame, not knowing what she was getting into and immediately regretted it. I will say it seemed the community really liked her. I actually hope they rally around her, though we have yet to see what goes down on the show, aka shenanigans. She may end up having to go to the reality star influencer route. Um, there's another long statement from the school district on the matter. You could read that in the comments section. And then I said, and also some insight tea. The fact that she was a named single means she played a large part on the show and likely got it on with a 90-day OG guy. Not all the new singles on the show get turned into named marketing material. And then I said, the Shabooty is hot. So that's my post. Again, once the show airs, it'll be more juicy, but
Well, yeah, because this is somebody that we haven't seen previously. Usually we're
yeah.
talking about people that you saw a whole season of. So it's a
Yeah.
little more interesting. But this is still really interesting for me because this show was filmed so long ago and is this saying that she's on leave now? So do you think that the school district just found out about the show now? Because you would think that they would have put her on leave when it happened.
Mhm. Well, it seems like it's weird. I feel like initially they put her on leave, or at least for initially the reasoning what they put her on leave because she missed work, and then now I feel like it's one of those things like there's like in the criminal justice system it's like initially when they want to get somebody on like an easy charge and then lock them up on an easy charge and then they're working on like a heftier charge behind the scenes they could put you away with, right? I'm just using an analogy. So like I feel like
Yeah.
her missing work was the easy charge, so let's just get her on like missing work so right? So she's going to be. So we're going to get her on the missing work charge. I'm just using an analogy, but really, what we're really upset about is how she's going to be portrayed on the show. So now
Well,
it's like a combination of both.
that makes sense because, this is an elementary school. These are very young, impressionable kids. And if they happen to see, I don't think that these kids will be watching Hunt for Love, but like for some reason, the internet is available to everybody. People have phones and the TV is in everybody's home. So what if they happen to see their principal on a show with a bunch of half naked people in jacuzzis making out and kissing each other? Like that could be strange and shocking. So it could really, I think you're right. I think the school is more worried about what it's going to look like having their administrator on a raunchy show because this show is they're going for very, very raunchy. So
It's
I
going
think
to be based on the school's reputation, and the school district doesn't want to have that representation. And we're not talking about the kids watching the show. We're talking about the
the,
moms
the moms,
and
see, that's right.
watching the show. And
And
it's
the
going to
moms are
fire
going
back like rapid fire.
You know how to piss off people is piss off some concerned moms, right? Like I feel like the
Hmm.
moms are gonna be like, I don't want my kids being administered by a person who would do a raunchy show like this. Even though she's a grown adult and she can, you wanna get in trouble and piss somebody off is piss off some moms because moms are so on top of whatever is going on at their kids' schools and what's going on in their kids' lives. So yeah, I think that they went to the school board when they found out what was going on. And Shabooty, I think you're right. This was brought on by the charge of not being at work, but it is way more than that. The moms got wind of her being on a raunchy show, and they don't like it. I think that's what it is. They don't like it.
And then the crazy part is like normally a story like this, even though I will say like I'm pretty sure I'm the first like 90-day blogger that reported on this. So I'm usually like the person to break the tea, but this is an instance I will confess that the actual like local Houston news were on top of this even before me.
Really?
Oh, dang.
So
They
this
got
Yeah.
a
is
tip
like
by
a
a Karen.
Well, this is probably a huge local story because this is kind of
Yeah.
like a scandal almost, right? Like a, a,
Yeah.
a school teacher or principal is on a reality show, and I'm assuming she might have kept it a secret.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually word got out. When it doesn't matter where you live, word's gonna get out. When you do something, you're on a TV show. There's any type of gossip, it's gonna get out, and I think it made its way to the school board meeting or the superintendent, and then it turned into this huge story, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that she ever really anticipated that it was going to be this big of a deal because a lot of people never really anticipate how big the 90 Day Fiancé franchise is until they already did it. And then they're like, I did not realize that it was like this. And I think she probably did the same. And at the same time, she might not have known as well everything she was getting into when she was there as well. Because she's not one of the contestants on the show, but she's one of the counselors, right? Isn't that what she joined as? Because she's a doctor.
No, I don't. No,
No.
I think she's just a regular new person, new hot chick.
Oh, well, that changes things. So wait,
Yeah.
she's there to hook up?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Well, no. Now I know why the moms are all type of pissed off. I thought that as her being a doctor, she was there to counsel people.
No. The only thing she's counseling is
No.
Yami.
Oh hell
Yeah.
no! She lucky they didn't fire her earlier. She went on TV to go hook up with a bunch of men, and she's a principal. Oh
Yeah.
hell no!
And
That's why I was just like, what are you talking about, counselor? No, they
She's
hire
a
their own
doctor, Gina.
counselors.
Gina, she's a doctor. I did not think she was there to hook up with people. I
yeah,
did not.
She has a doctorate in education. Major difference. We've already established that.
That still takes a long.
she went there with a doctorate in education and she left there with a doctorate in sexology.
Yeah,
Oh.
And sex ed.
in sex ed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say she got dicked down. So okay, so now this makes sense why this is a big scandal. I thought it was a scandal, but I was like, well, now I get it.
Mhm.
It
And
sounds
then I don't really, generally speaking, I don't talk about sources, but I will say her coworkers are talking.
wait
The
for real.
streets are talking.
So
Yeah.
the streets are talking.
Yeah, the
See,
streets are talking.
this is huge. I bet you if we were local to Houston, this would be everywhere, right?
Mhm.
This would be totally everywhere. And I bet you the other schools in the district, all the other principals, like this is a hot topic. Yeah, my mom was a teacher for over 45 years. So I know when something goes down in the community and the teachers, like this is a huge, everybody's talking about it. So I know that this probably was brewing in their district and in their area for a long time. And then it finally hit the fan. And then once the school board heard about it and everything, the news was all over it. And now that I know that she's probably going to be on the show hooking up with people, like, I
Mhm.
don't know, they might actually let her go because, hold on, somebody in the comments just said there's morality components to these contracts because you're working with children. So there's morality things. It's
Yep.
not just you following the rules and being a good person. You have to be, you're held to a really higher standard because
Mhm.
you're in charge of these young impressionable minds, right? And they
It
watch.
would just be like a priest or a religious figure or like a police officer.
Yes, that's
It's
that
to a
morality.
different standard.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh well, Izzy says I'd assume she actively lied about why she was absent. That way they're ready to take kids to court for missing school. Yeah, so I'm assuming that she must have said that she was sick or whatever, because I'm
Mhm.
sure she didn't tell them I'm not coming to work because I'm filming a reality show where I hook up with people. So I know she didn't say
Yeah.
that. So I don't know what she said, but eventually somebody ratted her out. So I'm assuming she had a friend or a close person at the school district that she told what she was doing and somebody ratted her out. Because I'm assuming
Yeah,
that's
and
what's
I mean
happening.
the crazy part is it's like it's getting, at least from my end, and I'm guess I'm partially responsible, but it's getting this attention, and the show hasn't even freaking aired. So imagine the attention it's gonna get once it
Oh, I
actually
know.
airs.
I know, because I was gonna say this hasn't aired. You would think that this would have got huge after the show aired and people recognize her, but this is huge now. They already got her
Mhm.
on leave. They won't even let her go to work. So imagine we don't even know what she did yet on the show.
Mhm.
Like we have no idea. We don't know if it's good, if it's bad, if they're gonna find it immoral or against what they expect the standard they hold for her. This is
Mhm.
crazy. And this type of scandal, this stuff will follow you. Like because if she goes to apply for another school they talk, So like, I can't believe that she would risk it all for a TV show, because she went to school for a long time to do this. This is a
Mhm.
very specific job. There's not a lot of things you can do in education that doesn't involve being an educator. So I don't know. I hope that it was worth it. Like I hope that she got what she wanted out of this because at the end of the day, I think the show itself is going to be good, but I don't think we're going to get any like B or C list stars out of it. I don't think so.
Yeah, I just from just from what I could tell from the vibe that the new cast members are giving out, it seems like they realize like the show is gonna make them look like dog shit. So I feel like yeah, it's gonna make the new people look like smutty, like jackasses, I assume.
Well, yeah, I think that it's debaucherous. It's gonna be people letting loose, drinking, hooking up, just being single. Which
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with that. But if you have a job where you're under the
Mhm.
microscope, people might find that offensive or they may get mad. Like I said, you want to make people mad, go make some moms mad. Moms don't
Mhm.
play when it comes to their baby. So if you piss off the right mom, she will never let it go. And that might be what happened.
Yeah,
Oh,
so that's
heck,
the Shelby
even
T.
not only the moms, if you piss off their aunties, their close
Yep.
friends, like these women will come for attack because I know I would with any of my friends' kids, my cousins, my nieces, my nephews. I would basically bring on the attack mode.
Mhm.
Well, this
So
is crazy because the show ain't even aired yet. We already got hot topics from the show, right? We got all these hot topics from the show. It hasn't even come on yet.
true. So let me go back to my topics list.
Oh, and I don't know if you were going to talk about this tonight, but did you see that Rachel Waters has been posting songs on her Instagram? Have you been
Yeah.
watching? I don't know if you want to discuss that or not, but one of the
Mhm.
contestants on Hunt for Love was the subject of one of her songs today. I don't know if you saw that.
That I didn't see now.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know what's going on, Rachel Waters, which is no longer her last name, she's now divorced from John Waters. They are no longer together, and we found out months ago that they were no longer together, actually. But now Rachel has been releasing songs that she wrote, not rapped, but wrote, and she's using AI to use the lyrics. And she's been telling us about John's I don't know, his actions during their marriage, and we've learned that he's been cheating, and she's been having other accusations about John. But the one that caught my attention today was that he was in a relationship or whatever with Tiffany, who's on Hunt for Love.
Wait, you mean the Tiffany that you adore?
Yeah, yeah. So she posted screenshots of the messages and everything, and I guess they. One thing to keep in mind: Tiffany and John haven't been together physically. John is in the UK, Tiffany is in Maryland, but they were FaceTiming and I guess sleeping on FaceTime, waking up together on FaceTime, and doing other things on FaceTime, allegedly, based on what Rachel has said. And she said today, like, oh well, I'm not mad at Tiffany or whatever, but it's just really, and she's calling her out, and I wanted to get your opinion on that. Like, are you surprised? Like, I was kind of surprised because first of all, I thought John and Rachel were like fully in love when I first saw them on the show, and I started, and actually, I'll be honest, I found out that they were divorced, or in the process of being divorced. I found out in January or December. I can't remember which one it was, and when I found out about the cheating and all the other stuff, I was really surprised. So were you surprised to hear about any of this?
The biggest surprise to me is the Tiffany part.
Well,
Yeah, me too.
that's wild, right? Of all the people that Tiffany could have hooked up with, I don't want to say that word though, because he's not welcomed in the U.S., right? So he hasn't been in the U.S. So Tiffany wasn't physically there with him, but they were building some sort of relationship through the phone and through FaceTime. But
Mhm.
again, Tiffany wanted to be with John Waters, knowing that he was married to Rachel Waters. Like, I have so many questions, right? I have so many questions.
Pineapple Girl says Tiffany's denying it.
Oh, so yeah, I did see that she went online and said that there was nothing going on whatsoever.
Mhm.
But we have to let everybody decide. Rachel posted screenshots of I guess stuff that they were saying together. Okay, so I didn't see what I was looking at. They went by really fast. I didn't see like explicit messages or whatever. So I can't speak on that. I don't know what was going on. I didn't know anything about it, but I'm just surprised that they even had a friendship because I don't even see what would John have to talk about with Tiffany. They don't seem like they would be friends, right? Or am I
Mhm.
wrong? Like I don't see the connection.
Yeah, it seems if it's befuddling.
I know the whole thing is just crazy because I'm like I don't usually get like what's the word, surprised or like taken off guard by
Mhm.
information or tea, but this one was like, huh, I never would have guessed. Like, how you find out something and you're like, I can see that, I can see, like, I still am trying to understand what was going on with that. And the fact that Rachel and John had all these real issues for so many years, that was crazy too, because I honestly thought they really loved each other. He said that he was going to raise her daughter because I remember she was pregnant when they met, and it wasn't his child, and he was like saying it was his child. He wanted to raise it as his own. I really thought that things were going really well. So when I found out, when she was saying all these things in these songs and the lyrics of how horrible the relationship was, it caught me off guard. I was like, dang, I never would have guessed that.
Mhm. True. Different subject though. I had a question for for the panel, but like I know we always save our strip club reviews for the end, but as far as the Mr. or not, I said Mr. Beast, not Mr. Beast, but Triple X Beast, do you want to do that before the end or what?
Oh, I mean, it's up to you. I know the last time we revealed his job, a lot of people were like, "Oh, we waited so long." That show really did run really long too.
Yeah, that
So,
was
That's
because
because
we were
Lauren
reading a
was on it.
lot of reviews. But
yeah.
no,
So,
but what we could do is like we could do the Triple X Beast like this is for the people that are in our Patreon. So if you're just in the chat, you may not get to see it. But I mean if you're in the Patreon chat, you will. But we could do a face reveal in the Patreon chat and then but still save the strip club reviews for the end.
well, yeah, I'm totally
Yeah.
fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. Oh wait, Pineapple Girl says, come on, George, wasn't John another personal trainer? He was helping Tiffany with her weight. John did post a lot of transformation photos where he was like he
Uh,
lost a bunch of weight and stuff. So that could be. You know what? That could be. You know what?
Mhm.
That is a connection. They were because Tiffany had her weight loss surgery and she was working on her weight loss. It could have been that they were doing that together. You know what? I will say that is a connection. That is something that people would be able to bond over. You're both on that weight loss journey, and you could help each other. So again,
Mhm.
like everyone was saying, Tiffany denies everything. So this is all alleged. This is what Rachel said, but we don't know Tiffany's side, and we weren't there. So I just wanted to bring it up.
True. Yeah, so let's hold on. Let me look at my topics list real quick. So so there's obviously you could do the triple X Beast reveal, and then we have a ton of like Shekinah topics. So do you want to do the Shekinah topics and then the triple X Beast reveal, or what?
Yeah, let's do the Shekinah topics because after that we don't have a lot of stuff to go off. So yeah, let's do that. That way we don't make everyone wait till the end because everyone is like, you started late, and we did. We did start late. So, and
Who was Mariah Carey this time?
it wasn't me. If you look at the group chat, I was texting at
Well, we were waiting for Gina's drinks.
No, that came at like 7:30 or 7:45. I'm like, bitch, better be here with my drinks.
I texted at 10:29 because I was about to get in my car to go get some alcohol. And I was like, let me just make sure they're not gonna be waiting on me before I leave the house. And y'all weren't. So I jumped in the car. The store's like 5 minutes away. So it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Yeah, so did you see the Shekinah? Well, there's the Shekinah sign with the misspelling, and then there's the Shekinah video copying to the misspelling somewhat. But actually, she didn't really take responsibility for the misspelling. So taking zero, when I say copying, I meant to say taking zero accountability.
Yeah, I saw your post, which started, well, I think it was you, right? Who started Signgate?
Yeah, I kind of tried to hype it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw your post, and which was hilarious because this isn't the first time we've encountered a 90-day person misspelling things on a sign, because it reminded me of Madeline. What was her name? Madeline from Luke and Madeline, and she spelled beauty wrong. And I was like, oh, we're going back down this road of misspelled words. So my initial theory was so she kind of doesn't strike me as a spelling bee winner. So I was like, she probably spelled it how she thought it sounded, right? And I was like, and she didn't realize it. I don't know, because Google exists, so I don't know why you would misspell anything. And I think the companies, they just print whatever you tell them to print on things. Like if you send them in, because I've had signs made before, and whatever, because you can spell words incorrectly because it's the words you made up or whatever, and they'll just print it the way that you did. So I assumed that she just didn't know how to spell it. But her video basically said that this was not her fault. She had nothing to do with it, and she got screwed over. And what was even more weird was she was like, I didn't even notice that it was misspelled. I don't
Yeah.
know, guys.
I think she said it was like 8 months before she realized.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. Like, if I know how to spell a word, right, and I look up at something and it's spelled wrong, I don't think it would take me 8 months to figure out that's misspelled. First of all, I've had signs made before. The first thing that I do when they arrive is check to make sure that they're spelled correctly and everything is in the right place. So that's why I'm still leaning towards the theory that she just didn't know how to spell the word. And there's no shame in that. I know there's doctors that aren't great spellers, but they could save your goddamn life, right? Like, they are very talented. They're just not good spellers. So I'm not faulting her for that, but I'm mad that she tried to make it seem like she didn't do it. Like, you ordered it. The only person in charge of spelling it correctly is you, not the company.
And again, I'm not trying to shit on her business, but like, how little foot traffic, how little foot traffic did she have where the customers didn't notice the fucked up sign?
Yeah, that's true too. Because if you got customers in there, unless her customers are like around the same IQ as her, like
Yeah, I was about to say, as like unless they're as dumb as she is and
I
are
mean,
absent-minded.
I notice stuff like that, but I'm like an OCD type person. Like, I notice things. Like when someone sends me a photo, like they want me to look at something, I notice everything in the background of the photo too. So like I'm one of those people. So like, how for instance, I remember somebody sent a photo one time. I don't remember what it was referring to now, but it was a 90-day. And it was like a chick in the photo, and all the way in the background on her dresser, it was like a dildo or
Mhm.
whatever. Yeah, you remember that viral photo, right? And I
Yeah.
would have been the person that noticed that. Like, I'm one of those people that I notice things when I walk into somewhere or I see a picture of something. I notice things that people usually don't.
Or I know it's like a viral photo of like, I can't remember if it was a guy or girl, but some guy or girl was in the bathroom taking like a selfie, and then they had it pointed upward, pointing down to the floor, and then in the background you see like a giant like bowl of duty.
Oh, I've seen that one too. Yeah, I've seen that one too. Yeah, and it's like I've always been taught to check your photos before you post them, right? Like I remember, okay, so I remember there was another viral photo where somebody took a picture of their food on whatever the table or whatever they're eating on, and then next to it was like cocaine from when they were
Mhm.
doing lines of cocaine, but they didn't check it. So they were thinking that they were posting their food, but you could see the cocaine on the table. So it's like you got to be very mindful of what is in the photo because people notice everything. And I think, like you said, if her customers were going in there for 8 months and nobody mentioned it to her, I have questions. Right? Like I have questions. I need to know nobody thought, or unless people thought, oh, that's spelled wrong on purpose because that's part of her business, like because that was
Mhm.
some of the people's defense when they were like, well, don't be hard on her. Maybe she wanted it to be spelled wrong so she could copyright it and that would be like specific to her business. She didn't say that in the video though. Right?
And then I feel like though maybe it's too strong of a word, but like I don't want to say she was frazzled in the video. She's definitely a little annoyed about the whole situation. But then also in the end of the video, she kind of like blurts out, I don't think she's really being mindful. But she basically says, like, yeah, I'm planning to move to Miami soon anyway, so I don't really care about this Los Angeles sign. And then as soon as I heard that, I was like, A, I don't know if she really meant to spill the tea. But then B, with 90 Day, it's like you have to always, if you're kind of boring or if there isn't that much cognitive dissonance in your relationship, you kind of have to create a storyline. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, so is their latest storyline for a future season? Sarper and she kind of moved to Miami to make their storyline interesting. So that kind of popped into my head.
That could be. Yeah, that could be. I mean, I felt like if they were going to make it interesting, LA was pretty interesting, right? So I don't know. I felt like moving to LA would have been interesting, but we're watching it and it's boring, so I guess not. But there are other cast members in Miami, like Darcy and Stacy, Jovi and Yara, um, Lauren and Alexi are in that area. Like maybe they're moving there so they can like become friends with other 90 Day cast members.
Yeah, I saw the photo today, I think, I hate to even mention it and give them publicity, but it was Shekinah and Supper with the 90 Day Bad Douches.
Wait, were they in Miami?
No, I don't think they're in Miami. They're just hanging out with the 90 Day Bad Boys.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, the bad boys are kind of everywhere. They're like hanging out with everybody. And did you notice that Rob did his diaries and Jamal did his diaries and they were all together and they're in each other's diaries. Like they're kind of everywhere.
Yeah, and okay, let me give a shout out. I don't know who runs the like 90 Day Fiance Twitter, but I did a viral post where hold on, I don't want to like ruin my joke, so let me pull it up real quick. But I did like a live tweet, and I said it was a picture of like Jamal, Rob, and who's the third guy again?
Josh.
Josh, which it just shows that I can't even remember their names. Um, so then it was a picture of, yeah, Rob the Knob, Jamal, and Josh. And then my caption was another annoying thruple on 90 Day Fiance.
Ah, that's actually hilarious.
And
Because they're
then,
always together. They're literally always together.
yeah, and then shout out to like whoever operates the Twitter account because they like retweeted me, which is funny.
Wait, the actual 90 Day account retweeted that?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So they feel the same way as you? How
Yeah.
funny. Because, they didn't actually put this throuple together. That Sharp didn't. This is something that kind of happened outside their realm of control. So I wonder if they feel the same way. I wonder if they feel like this is annoying. Like I wonder if they feel that way.
Well, again, I feel like I don't know how, you know how it is. Like, I don't know, all the people behind the scenes. I don't know who is who, but I just know whoever's at TLC, they're probably in the Discovery HQ, I assume, but in Silver Spring. But whoever runs their Twitter account, thank you for the retweet.
Well, yeah, it's funny that they would retweet that because they're usually really um protective of the cast. Like whenever I tweet something about how much I hate someone or how much annoying someone is or something that is dumb, They don't like to retweet that. So I like how they're getting a little sense of humor. You know, like it's funny when no one has to just like say something nice all the time. Things can be funny, you
It's
know?
probably because it's a project outside of their realm, but same with the like it's their cast members, but they
Oh
have no
yeah,
part
because
in it.
they weren't a part of it, so they don't care.
No,
That's true, Gina. Because if it was their idea, they would be more protective of it. But they probably look at it
Mhm.
as we didn't tell them to put those videos out and do that, so we don't care. Yeah, I think you're right.
That's a good point. I don't know, but either way, thank you for like. It seems like no one in the. It seems like finding someone with a sense of humor in like the 90-day world is very rare these days. So thank you for that.
I know, right? Everybody is so serious,
Yeah,
and
everyone's all uptight. All the
they're
bloggers are
all
talking shit about
snowflakes.
everyone.
I know it's like have some fun. Remember when blogging was fun? They like try to take all the fun out of it. It's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be fun and entertaining. Everything isn't supposed to be all serious all the time. Like cast members too. Like laugh at yourself sometimes. Y'all are on TV doing really dumb things half the time. Like have a sense of
Mhm.
humor. You know?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's this comedian. I wish like what's annoying though is like not necessarily related to the TV side of it, but I always think of like in the like video game world, there's kind of like community outreach in the video game world. You know what I mean? Like there's a community manager that's public facing, and they talk to influencers, and they're friendly with them, and like they build the community build, and like you know. It kind of works that way, but like in the 90-day world, there's no such thing as a you know what I mean? There's not like a community manager. There's not like much of like community building. There's not much camaraderie. It's just like it's basically like a Wild Wild West, and the corporate side of it really doesn't give a rat's ass. So it's kind of like shitty.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I feel like the same. It's funny because in back in the day, like companies like entertainment companies used to try to work hand in hand with
Hmm.
bloggers and make like you said a camaraderie and they would help each other out. And now it's kind of like you're all on your own. They pretend like you're not there, but they also watch everything you do.
Hmm.
So it's a weird community because it's like they know that the bloggers are necessary. They know that talking about the show is necessary, but they also want to pretend like you're not doing that. And it's just weird because back in the day, I remember when um, companies would team up with bloggers and team up with people and they would, you know, help them create content, to produce, to promote the show. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah, like it's kind of ridiculous that they don't like, and I don't mean a shitty fucking boutique PR company. I mean like it's kind of ridiculous that a TLC kind of marketing person doesn't reach out and as like a point of contact and say, hey, like I work in marketing at TLC. Like I want to introduce myself. Like if you want to come by, do like a tour of the headquarters or something, that'd be cool. Like I just want to say hi, appreciate everything you do. And well, a lot of other companies actually do that. It's just shocking that TLC and Discovery doesn't do that because, again, like for example, I've been to like Comedy Central headquarters in New York City because I've had their social media person reach out to me and like I've befriended them and hung out with them in their headquarters and like many other companies like Howard Stern TV reached out to me and they invited me to their headquarters and I went to Howard TV and met all the people behind the scenes and like so there's a lot of companies have reached out to me in the past and it's a shock that like TLC wants to there isn't a facility for that with the influencers that there isn't someone to reach out and talk to them because it's like it's silly because like the cast members aren't afraid of us but why is corporate afraid of us because the cast members aren't afraid to befriend us and hang out and I've hung out with more than one cast member and it all went amazingly swimmingly well so it's just like it's weird that they don't know how to interact with freaking really charming and entertaining and funny influencers like us.
I know it's strange, and I remember back in the day, remember there was a TV network called TV Land.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's gone now, but I had a show on it called Hot in Cleveland, and back when I was in Cleveland, we were, the whole town, the whole city, we were big on that show, and I promoted it a lot, and when I
Oh
would,
yeah, I know the story. And then with
and
Betty White.
yeah, and they reached out, and
Hmm.
I got to, and they wanted me to be a part of it because they were like, you were doing, and it wasn't just that show. There was a
Hmm.
show on their network called The Soul Man, that I was involved with, I was promoting and I was talking about. And then when Cedric the Entertainer was in town, they sent him straight to me, right?
Yeah.
And Niecy Nash, and when they were in town, so we were interviewing them. And there was another show with Kirstie Alley when hers was on, and I was watching that when I was promoting and talking about it. And they got me involved. I have, oh my gosh, in my garage, I have signed scripts from every single TV Land show. Anything that I ever helped promote, they were like sending me scripts. And whenever the actors or actresses were in town, they wanted me to be there. And I got to eat with Betty White, like just because I promoted and talked about the show. And it's like Sharp will know that you're promoting your show, talking about the show, and they don't want to get involved and they don't want to do anything. And it's like, we're actually doing what most people would charge you to do. They would charge you, and we're doing it for free. And you're very ungrateful, right? You're just very ungrateful because other networks would appreciate it. And I feel like TLC doesn't appreciate it.
Yeah, and I think I've told this story before, but like when Jersey Shore season 1 came out, well, it's funny, like back then I'd interviewed Mark McGrath of Sugar Ray, and then Mark McGrath was like, "Hey, I've started watching a show called Jersey Shore. This is during season 1." And Mark McGrath is the one that put me on to Jersey Shore during the season 1. And then I started watching it based on his recommendation. And then I became a big fan. I was blogging about it. And then the president of programming at MTV, I landed on his radar of all my blog posts about this Jersey Shore. This is season 1 before it was that popular. So they were more appreciative. And then when he was out to dinner with the whole cast, he basically pulled out his BlackBerry, emailed the whole cast, not on no BCC, meaning not on a blind CC, but on a regular CC where I got everyone's email addresses. And he emailed the whole cast. And he's like, "Hey, this guy Shabooty's been supporting us from day one. Like, hit him up if he wants anything. Take care of him." And so he basically introduced me to the whole cast, meaning like share their information with me, and like that. And look how big of a hit Jersey Shore was, because the president of programming was smart, and he worked with bloggers, and he wasn't afraid of them, and he wasn't putting the cast members on a pedestal, and it was very sweet. And so that it's like you got to take lessons from what we're telling you.
It's proven. I always go back to Christian Archer when Ed Hardy came out. He didn't pay for 1 ounce of marketing. He got influencers and celebrities to talk about and wear the brand. And that's all we're doing. We're talking about the brand. And Ed Hardy was one of the best-selling brands of its time. And he didn't spend 1 single penny on marketing. And it's like, that's the same thing we're doing. Y'all aren't spending any money on marketing. Well, you are, but you don't have to if you would just team up with the right people. And they don't seem to see it.
So anyway, there's that. Let's go back to our Shekinah topics, because I feel like there's more to it. Hold on. Let me pull it up. So there was, they may move to Miami for a storyline. And I know this isn't breaking news in any way, shape, or form, but did you notice the Sarper tattoo on her neck?
I
Yes.
noticed it a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember when, but somebody online on Twitter brought it to my attention. Like someone was tweeting about it, and I noticed it. And it's like his first and last name right on her neck, which, I'm not a tattoo guy. I don't have any tattoos, but I think I've told y'all the story. There's several women on this planet that have my name tattooed on them, which I was fully against. But I'm not telling people they shouldn't get tattoos, but I think getting someone's name tattooed on your face or neck or body is probably setting up failure. A lot of people tell me when you get someone on your body, like the tattoo, the name, it usually doesn't work out. Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah, well, one thing though, some people pointed out though was, since the tattoo is so kind of like fine and thin, that if she did want to get it like lasered off, it should be pretty easy.
Well,
She
yeah,
can also get it covered with something else if it's like it looks very light.
Yeah, she could turn Sarper into Shabooty.
this is true. This is true.
And then I'll be real extra nice to you, Shekinah.
I mean, I won't, but whatever. I won't, but whatever.
Sure, and then in the same vein, if I'm not saying it's like earth-shattering news, but in the photo when they're in Vegas that I posted on my Instagram at Shabooty.com, Sarper's wearing his like wedding band.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw that they were wearing their wedding band. And I mean, I kind of figured because I was like, how else would they be here? Because I was like, he's been here for like a year now. So they would have to be married. But now we have confirmation. Assuming is not the same as confirmation. So we do have confirmation that they are married. We assumed it, but now we know.
Yeah, and then still on Shekinah, did you see I posted like a Mother's Day photo with her and all of her sisters, a couple of sisters that weren't featured on the show. And again, I'm not saying it's a big deal, but it seems like she has like a gay or lesbian sister. Did you notice that?
Wait, I didn't know that. She
You
has
did
a.
in the photo I posted, she definitely has like a butch or lesbian sister.
All right, hold
Oh
on.
yeah, I see it. Yep.
Do you want
Hold
me to send you the link?
on. Hold on. I'm gonna just try to find it.
It's on my Instagram.
Cause I saw the picture of her family, but I
It's
don't
on the
know.
right of the three panels. It's on the right side. I'll text it to you.
They're
Yeah.
all pretty like attractive looking.
Okay, I just
Like
texted
it's an
you if you can't
attractive
find it.
family.
And
Okay. Let me
I
see.
I'll post the link in the Patreon, I guess.
All right, I'm opening it. I'm opening it. I'm opening it. Wait. Oh, whoa, what?
Yeah, son.
Yo, I didn't even notice. Okay. Okay. Wow. I love that. I love that for them. But yeah,
Mhm.
they're all pretty. Everyone's pretty. Like the whole
Mm-hmm.
family, right? They're all pretty. It's
But it
funny
seems like
because
a couple of sisters were like, I'm not getting on the show. Fuck that shit.
well, yeah, which is funny because they all kind of look like they would want to be famous because they're so pretty. And, once you're pretty, fame kind of goes with it. But yeah, a lot of these sisters were like, I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole, which I,
Hmm.
I respect that, being famous or being the center of attention or living your life under a microscope is not fun. So I respect those people because on the show, a lot of times I can't remember who it was now, but there was somebody who had no family, nobody would participate. I forget because I talked about it on my podcast, and everyone's like, that's weird, they must not get along with their family. I was like, or their family is extremely intelligent and didn't want to be the subject of us making fun of them. I was like, because
Hmm.
now we have nothing to use information wise because they were smart enough not to go on the show. So I was like, maybe they're just really smart.
True. And then the other final Shekinah topic I had was she had the video. I mean, it's a video I probably saw like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but it was a video of one of her I don't remember the exact like facial procedures, cosmetic procedure she was getting. I don't know if it was a facelift or what, but it was a video of her getting like a cosmetic facial procedure, and so it went viral, and it's probably higher now, but in my notes it was like 439,000 likes on Instagram. And I feel like anytime someone gets that viral of a video, that means like TLC's never going to get rid of them.
No, they're not. And you know what? That picture, because I did notice it, it went viral just in general because I
Hmm.
saw it a bunch of times and it wasn't any reference to Shekinah or 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah.
It went viral just because there was those stitches in her face and everything.
Hmm.
And that one chick that you post all the time, the one that had all the plastic surgery in her cheeks and stuff.
Yeah, I just posted her today too, but yeah.
Yeah, she goes viral just randomly anyway. It doesn't have to do they won't even post her name. It'll just be like, oh my God, look at this photo. And that's kind of
Yeah.
how Shekinah went viral. But yeah, 500,000 likes, right? Like that
Mhm.
sucks because I keep telling people that her and Sarper are like boring or whatever, but that picture proves a little opposite of that. Like if you can get 500,000 likes, I'm a little impressed.
Yeah, so congratulate. I feel like I did like 3 or 4 Shekinah posts this week. So congratulations, Shekinah. The fact that well, for one, I will say, and well, she does not follow me, and she may or may not have me restricted, but she hasn't blocked me. So, to your credit, Shekinah, congratulations on all the attention.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Shekinah the new Jasmine.
Yeah.
She's the new Jasmine. We don't dislike her, but we are going to make fun of you. Right? Like we
Yeah.
don't dislike you, but we're gonna make fun of you. Oh wait, so Siri asked a question, and I want to ask this to everyone. So she said, "Is anyone enjoying Sarper? He really grew on me, and now he cracks me up." So Sherry, I don't hate Sarper, but I don't know if he's like growing on me. Like I don't know. I feel like his jokes
Hmm.
aren't funny for me when he's trying to be funny, but he's funny when he's not trying to be funny, if that makes sense. Like when
Well, it's weird. Like I feel like part of the problem is just season 11 as a whole is just hot garbage. So let's say you're the biggest Starper fan. The fact that Starper's on season 11 is dragging him down a little bit just because everyone else is even shittier than him.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so if we're gonna go worst people this season, Sarper's not the worst. It could be
Mhm.
much worse, right? Like we're dealing with Marty and his
Yeah.
hatred of boobs and bisexual people and anyone who likes to have fun. Like we're dealing with Buzz Killington as well. So yeah, Sarper is not the worst possible thing to happen this season. But let's not be real, or let's be real and know that this season is probably one of the worst seasons we've seen in a long time, like a long time. There's nothing good going on this season. This season should have been shelved and not aired. Like, let's just be real. They shouldn't have even aired this.
Yeah, or edited down for a lot less episodes, so more things happen in the episode.
Yeah, because what are we even watching?
Because it was like three. It's like three episodes for the Brenda confrontation.
Yeah, you're right. This is going to be the third episode, and we still don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think that's really irritating me too, because I was like, we already know what's going to go on, right? She's a fake person. She's using them for money. Blah, blah. We know what's going to end, how it's going to end, but they keep dragging it out because this is the most predictable storyline. Everything that we assumed is right, right? Like, Ray met her in the strip club. Well, duh. Well, how else do you meet people? She's a stripper. Like everything that we predicted is what's going to happen, and it's like, why are you dragging this out? Like whoever the producer or the storybook writer or storyline writer who thought this was going to be interesting, it's like, what the hell, right? Like,
I feel
have
like
you?
I'm watching Days of Our Lives, like, and Stefano just keeps on coming back.
See, when Amani, for me, in this last episode is when Amani was like, "Here we are looking to start a life with Annie, and she might be still married, or she was still married." And I was like, Amani, you're still married to Matt. It's like you can't get mad at her for being married if you're married. You know, like this is where it's getting ridiculous now. I was like, ma'am, you're married to this man for 11 years with 2 kids, so you can't get mad at her if she was married when y'all were talking. Like you're
Yeah.
literally still married. Like how are you gonna be mad?
True. So yeah, those are our kind of topics. So I don't know the best way to do the whole triple X beast reveal as far as his photos. For one, I'm not going to give his like last. I know I'm not. I'm definitely not going to give his last name. Um, I may be willing to give his first name. Well, let's back up a little bit. I did reach out to him on Yelp. He didn't reply, and then I DM'd him on Instagram. He didn't reply, but I also didn't want to like. I didn't want to like blow him up, meaning like I didn't want to like follow him on everything and message him on every platform. I didn't want to go all
Well,
crazy.
we also don't know if he's active on social media either.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because we don't
he may be one of those people where like an OG type where he's like, I don't really check my accounts.
right, we don't know. Because there's
Hmm.
plenty of people who might have social media, but they don't check it. You know, so it could
Hmm.
be that you reached out to him and he still hasn't seen it. Like we don't know the actual reason why he hasn't reached back out.
Yeah, so okay, this may be like a Patreon exclusive segment because I'm not going to post this picture publicly just because I don't want to. But if you're listening live, join us on Patreon because I'm going to go into our member chat room and start posting pictures of Triple X Beast. And then I want to get George's reactions live because I know.
Also, before we get started, I want to go around the room and
Mhm,
kind of give a description. Everyone give a description of what you think he might look like.
mhm.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. I would love to see what everyone
Because
Yeah, okay,
I
looks
well,
like.
I could tell you in terms of like what I was thinking in my head. This is before I saw, but like before I saw, I had pictured him like a younger guy.
how young? Like in his 20s or 30s or
Yeah, obviously, like my perception changed after I saw the real person. But anyway, I don't want to ruin it. But anyway, but like, yeah, for some reason, I don't know. He just came. He came across like. Let me see. Let me think. Let me put. Let's say I pictured him to be like maybe like 40 or something.
okay, 40 years old. what do you think his nationality was when we like based on his reviews and how he talked? Because I think it's funny because we were in the group chat and the captain and everyone was talking about it, and she said that she thought that he was a Caucasian man, an older
No, I got
Caucasian man.
the vibes beforehand, like half African American, half Hawaiian.
See,
After that Hawaii review.
I was thinking that he was a black guy when he did the one review and he was like, "These hoes be filling up on my nuts." The way that he was talking, and I was like, I don't know, man. He sounded like a brother to me. And I
Yeah,
just like,
well, there was one review we never read it, but because it was a little like he was kind of talking shit about some of the. I don't want to get into it, but it was a little like
Yeah.
racially tinged.
oh, well, we didn't read that one, so I
Yeah,
don't.
we purposely didn't read that one,
No,
but yeah.
no, no.
So, all right. So the chat. Sherry says I'm gonna say he's in his 60s, bald and overweight. 60s? What? Okay. Jamie says I think he's black and in his 50s and is short. Okay, I can see that. I see that. Okay, so Jenny says
Like,
young.
no, I was gonna say like as far as I pictured him as like I pictured him as like a white guy, but then his best friends were all minorities.
Well, that's possible. When I was
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
what do you call it? High school, middle school. Well, I went to a high school where I was the only black person at the school, so all my
Hmm.
friends were white. So, I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I wait, Jenny says young looking, very nerdy and pale. Um I
Hmm.
thought wait, Amberlee says I thought white, but then I heard something about Hawaii. The username itself says 40 and above. Wait, how does XXX Beast say 40 and above? Izzy? What does that mean? She says the username alone says 40 and above. I don't understand that.
I don't know, but if people have inside info, don't let that. We're talking about what our perceptions was before we learned more and more information.
Right, right. Okay, so Christy says 37 to 45, brown hair, tribal tat. I feel like he has a tribal tat, like the 98 degrees arm tribal tat.
Mhm.
I agree.
Well, I remember early on when we were like reading his reviews. You know what like my early on feeling was. I'm not saying I still believe that, but I was like he reminds me of like the guy like that wrote like the Lord of the Rings books or J.J. Tolkien or like you know what I mean like yeah the guy that wrote
Oh, JJR Martin.
or wrote the what's it called not Lord of what's the show on HBO that's like Lord of the Rings.
Gang of Thrones.
Yeah, the guy that wrote
Game
the
of
Game of
Thrones.
Thrones books. Yeah,
Hold on. I think his name is JJR Martin.
yeah, that's something R. Martin. Yeah,
Or George R.
George R.
Martin.
Martin. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, oh my god. I remember when you said that that's what you thought he looked like. I do remember
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So that guy is 76.
Mhm.
So okay, Shabooty, you said he's like super old. Um, oh shit, don't call me out like that. Sorry, Izzy. I didn't mean to. All right, so I think okay, so here's what I think, guys. I think that he is a 5'10", chubby, biracial, black, maybe Hawaiian guy with short hair and wears Hawaiian shirts.
Mhm.
That's who I see.
So he's like half African American, half Hawaiian comic book guy from The Simpsons,
Uh
basically, is what you're saying.
Oh,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
mhm.
Well, Shabooty said he's 76. I don't think he's 76. I think he's probably in his 40s. But he acts younger. That's what
Mhm.
I'm thinking. Like I don't think he's in his 20s or 30s. I think he's in his 40s, but he acts like he's in his 20s or 30s. Like I feel like that's probably
Yeah. Well, you have to remember what type of job he had. He had a lot of like, or has,
Mhm.
dealing with a lot of people that are younger, like, and a younger mentality in
Mhm.
the Navy.
right, right. Okay. If y'all could hear me laughing. Wait, sure. Oh, Amberlee says very specific. Yeah, when I think I know someone or I hear their voice or whatever, I have a pic like a very vivid photo or picture in my mind of what
Mhm.
I think people look like or who they are. So
A
when I
figment of the imagination.
yeah, yeah, and like when I meet people in person for the first time, it's
Mm.
really funny because that's usually not what I thought. You know what's funny? When I met Coco, she's what I thought she would look like. Isn't that weird?
Mm.
Like like everything matched, but like when I meet people, sometimes none of it matches like at all.
Mm.
Like I'll think that they're short and skinny, but they're like tall and fat, or I'll be completely off. But all right, y'all, we done talked enough. So we're gonna do. Oh wait,
Okay.
Tristan says maybe Asian. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna actually do a
Yeah.
live reaction to this XXX beef.
So if there's anyone listening live that hasn't joined our Patreon, this is probably the time to spend like $5 to join our Patreon.
Yeah, it's worth it. And we also do emergency tea podcast where you get the tea before everyone else. I mean, Shabooty's gonna release tea before everyone else already, but you're gonna also get it like days before the rest of the world, right?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get it before everybody. It's totally worth it.
Yeah, like our member chat is basically an extension of like the George and all the hosts. We have like a group chat, like a text chat, but the member chat on Patreon is basically an extension of that. So it's basically
Mhm.
like you're in our text chat.
Yeah, you're basically in our group chat, which is very exclusive. So, we're letting you into our personal group chat where,
Our domain, our
yeah,
world.
you're in our little world. You're a part of the
Mhm.
clique. You can sit with us at the table.
Mhm. Okay, by the way, okay, so I have like 4 photos lined up now. So what I could do is like, it's weird. So there's one photo where he's wearing sunglasses, but so should I start with the sunglasses photo and then end with the non-sunglasses photo? Does that make sense?
Yes.
well,
Uh,
that's good. Let's
Okay,
do
well,
that.
how about this? How about this? So I have 4 photos. I have one. It's random. I forget what it's called. It's not like I don't want to call it like a gas mask, but you know when you're doing like construction and you're wearing like a mask so you don't breathe in particles.
Like a
Yeah,
KN95 mask or whatnot.
Not
Like a
KN95, but as the ones with the fancy filters. But
yeah,
it
yeah,
Yeah, but it's like when you're doing construction. But that
yeah.
photo, so that photo of him, it's like a 3M. That photo of him is probably like 15 years old, so that's not what he looks like now, but he's wearing like a giant mask. So, but it'd still be funny. So what I could do is this. So I could start with the photo where it's a 15-year-old photo of him where he's wearing not like full mask regalia. Start with that. Then I could go to the photo where he's wearing sunglasses, and then I'll end with the 2 photos where it's like kind of more present day, no sunglasses, and you get a full look at him. Does that sound like a good plan?
Yep.
yeah,
Okay. All right. So if you're not on our Patreon, join our Patreon. So don't judge the first photo I post. Don't judge his age on that photo because it's like a 15-year-old photo. But let's start with that because his face is most concealed. So this is going to be very exciting. Hop on the Patreon. It has a dedicated app. So let's see.
Very hot tea coming your way in beast mode.
Okay, let's see. Hop on the Patreon app. All right, here's the first photo. Let's see. And again, this is an old ass photo, so don't judge. Like, don't judge him off this photo because it's an old ass photo. But here's the first photo. Okay, I just sent it. The first photo. I see Laurie's in the chat. All right, do y'all see the first photo?
yeah. He definitely looks fat, just based on the cheeks. But he definitely looks of the darker complexion, so I feel like I might have gotten that right because
Uh,
I said that before you did.
I definitely don't see a Caucasian person here. This is definitely either like a black or a Hispanic or
like,
a
mhm.
Samoan or
Yeah,
Hawaiian.
Samoan. I feel like it's spot on.
I am definitely seeing Samoan in that skin tone, but I can't tell, and I would need to see the rest of his
Yeah,
face.
and Laurie says, "What the actual fuck?"
So is he bald headed? Because I don't see like a lot of hair underneath that
Okay, are you
douchebag.
ready for the next photo?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next photo is like present day. So, and he's probably from that photo, he's probably aged like 20 years. So, you ready for the present day photo?
So wait, the photo that you just sent is like old?
This is an old photo, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this one is like present day. He's wearing sunglasses. Y'all ready?
Yeah, I wonder what kind of sunglasses.
Okay.
Jenny said Georgie to shut up. Okay, sorry.
Okay, and if people are listening like after the fact, join our Patreon. If you're listening live for free, if you're from Twitter, you got to join the Patreon for these photos. Ready? Here you go. Boom. All right, let me know what you think.
Oh my God. He's old. Holy Jesus. He's like old. He's like Coco's type of old.
I
Yeah.
was about to say, I wonder if Coco would hit it.
Yeah.
He's
Silver Fox.
old. What is happening? And if you look at the reflection in his glasses, you can see his phone and like he's pushing the take the picture
Yeah,
button.
he's doing a selfie.
Oh,
Yeah, but
he's
he
doing
didn't
a
even use
selfie.
he didn't even use the button on the side that you use to take a selfie. He pushed the circle button. So
Well,
that's how I know that he's old.
Jenny says he's fire.
Wait, Jenny, are you like into this? Oh wait, Laurie says Silver Fox. Oh my God, who
So
said Ray-Bans in the chat? I said what kind of glasses, and Jenny said probably Ray-Bans. They're freaking Ray-Bans,
Sophia said
aren't
Are
they?
Zaddy.
they?
They look like Ray-Ban. I see the R.
Yeah,
Sophia
they
said
are.
Sophia, my crush, said Zaddy.
Oh, y'all are into this. I didn't. I don't know. Like I don't know. This wasn't what I thought, you guys. I didn't think that he would
You
be
Okay,
always
old.
are
look
you ready for
disappointed.
like him without sunglasses though?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what the next photo is. Hold on.
Total opposite. I know, Jenny, right?
Okay, I'll do. Okay, this photo. Okay, This photo is him wearing like a Christmas hat. You know, like a Christmas hat, whatever it's called, like a stuff. You know, where you put like stuff, whatever. I don't know, but basically a Christmas hat. So I'm gonna post this one next. Okay. All right, here goes this one. This is a better look at him. Boom.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Are these his grandkids?
No.
Okay, no. Okay, because I was like, what? So let's do a fun little poll. How old do you guys think he is? I'm gonna go with 59.
Okay, so I have some details. Should I say like the details of his like current status as far as like his occupation thing? So he's like retired Navy.
Okay. So he's not actually in the Navy. So what does he do that he's all over the country? Now I'm even more
Well,
curious.
these photos may be where he was still probably technically in the Navy, but since then he's retired. But
Oh, Laurie says 55, maybe. I mean, maybe. I'm like in 59. Oh, wow. Sherry said that can't be the same guy from the Ray-Ban picture.
yeah.
Right? He's definitely thicker than I thought he would be, and older than I thought he would be, and more Samoan than I thought he would be. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, there's one more photo. You want the final photo?
Yeah. Wait, from hot to not. Laurie.
Damn.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that photo, maybe he lost weight since this last photo.
Usually weight goes in the other direction.
All right, here's the final photo that I have. And this is probably when he was still like before he retired Navy. So I don't know how old it is, but boom, final photo that I have handy where he looks like a white haired Asuelu.
Oh, wow. Oh wow! Wait, he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt, so I would like to get credit because I said that I thought he wore Hawaiian shirts, so I would like to get credit for that.
Yeah.
But
The Hawaiian version of comic book guy.
yeah, I can see it actually. This is not who I thought, based on his strip club reviews. This is not who I thought I would be looking at.
Yeah, he's
Well,
older than you would expect it, right?
Yeah, he's older, but the way that he types and talks on the reviews, this just doesn't. I don't know. He just
but you have to remember the reviews are older, right? Like some of them dating back like 9 years, 8 years, or whatnot,
okay.
or
So he was a
when
little.
he was younger.
Yeah, Sherry
So
says a
maybe in
white
his
haired
mid
Asuelu.
30s.
Okay.
Laurie says I'm just gonna keep the Ray-Ban visual in my head.
Well, the last picture He kind of looks like I can't put my finger on it.
Well,
He
I
looks like
know that
some sort of politician.
all the ladies that are a fan of the Ray-Ban photo, that's his like current Instagram profile photo. So maybe that's more recent than the last two.
Well, this
Oh,
last
he
one,
found Ozempic.
this last one, he kind of looks like a city council person. Like, and
Mhm.
he's speaking at the city council meeting.
Yeah,
Kinda
for
what
like
it
the
looks
park
like.
board or something.
Yeah, yeah. And then the one where he's Santa, um, I don't know about all that, but he is wearing a Hawaiian shirt, so I would just like to say the record show that I was right about the Hawaiian shirt stuff. So, yeah.
Let me real quick too, like let me look at his like Instagram profile because he the his bio on Instagram it says I don't want to put all his information out there, but his bio on Instagram says retired Navy Master Chief, retired Patient Experience Officer. I'm not going to read the acronym. Husband to so and so. I don't want to name his wife. Dad to so and so. I don't want to name his children. And then it says Christ follower.
Children, as in more than one.
Well, dad to a son, but I don't want to like name
Oh,
his
okay,
son's
cool.
name.
And
But so
Christ
he's a dad to
follower.
a kid, and he's a Christ follower, and he's a retired Navy Master Chief, and he's a retired Patient Experience Officer in the Navy, I guess. And he's a husband to so and so. So yeah, he's a
So
family man.
he's married and he's in the strip club Oz? Like,
Well, I feel like he needs to escape from his wife, probably.
oh my God, Sophia. She said he's the Hawaiian guy Ferrari, and now I can't unsee it.
That's
Yeah,
actually a good,
yeah.
good
I
one.
can't unsee it now. That is so accurate. I can't even. That's all I see now. It is so Guy Fieri but Hawaiian.
Mm,
It's funny because Guy Fieri also wears Hawaiian shirts. So, like,
yeah.
yeah, that's all I can see now.
No, that's actually a perfect synopsis.
Yes, that was so accurate. And I don't know. That's not what I expected. And
Mhm.
he's definitely a family man, which was I didn't guess that. Usually somebody who goes to the strip club and they know every strip club in every state, I don't see them as someone that has a wife and kid or
Mhm.
whatever, or someone that goes to church every week.
Well, we should ask Sophia, like, are most of her customers married dudes with a wife and a kid? And I bet you she'll say yeah.
Well, some of the people that been like, remember one strip club reviewer said, my wife is pissed. I spent all the rent money. My
Yeah,
wife and
yeah.
I went to the strip club and I got I just wanted a booty dance and I got more than that. And wife was
Mhm.
pissed.
Yeah, Sophia, if I know you're probably like gearing up for whatever you got to do tonight, but if you want
Probably
to speak, you
working.
can. If you want to speak, you can. But yeah, I assume a lot of our customers are like married dudes with a wife with a child at home and a wife at home.
Really? I mean, I didn't know that wives were okay with that. Like watching, like letting your husband go watch other women dance.
As long as I can come too.
Hmm.
I wouldn't
Well,
care.
yeah, that's true. I guess he never said that his wife was there, but he never said that his wife wasn't.
I think as long as he
So,
doesn't come home with glitter on, he probably don't say shit.
I mean,
Or
he
an
did,
STD.
he did say that hoes be grabbing on his nuts, though. So, I mean, he's not acting like a little angel there either. So, I don't know.
Yeah, so hopefully the payoff was like at least it was entertaining for you.
It was
Maybe the
very
church
entertaining.
is the strip club, and that's what he refers
Well,
to.
aren't there always a church across the street from every strip club? Maybe he goes to the
Yeah.
church across the street.
He did. He went to the one in
Yeah,
Arkansas, which is across the street from the God's Tabernacle.
that's
Yeah,
always the case.
yeah, he has to repent for his boner sins.
I mean, I
He's
I am thoroughly shocked. Amberlee says that he catfished us with the Ray-Ban photo. Amberlee. I mean, I'm thoroughly shocked. This was very interesting, and it's so weird when you put a face to like something or someone that you've been talking about for so long. it doesn't change anything. I still think that he's a legend. It doesn't change
Mhm.
anything for me, but it's just so different from what I was expecting. Like if we went to a strip club and I saw him in the strip club, I wouldn't have said, "I wonder if that's XXX Beast." I wouldn't have said
Yeah.
that,
Hmm.
and it would have been him. So it's just really interesting.
I'm trying to remember. Was it last week where we read a review and it was like a 1 star? Didn't he get kicked out and it was a 1 star review and he's all pissed off or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
asked him to
because
leave.
he went there with 10 guys or something like that. Because then we got
Mhm.
onto the topic of I haven't rubbed like 10 deep like since like high
Yeah,
school or something like
college,
that,
high school,
or
college,
college.
or no, I
Yeah,
was homecoming. It was homecoming. It
you're
was like
homecoming and Shabooty was college.
yeah, like
Mhm.
where it was like 3 or 4 different. We arrived in 3 or 4 cars. There was so many of us. That's like
Yeah, but he's
that was fun.
also traveled 10 deep with other like Hawaii, also 10 people, right?
Mhm.
Like said something about Fleet Week on another review, assuming with a lot of people like a lot of people as well, um,
Mhm.
Navy men and women. So I'm assuming that when he goes to the strip club, he's going just not by himself. He's going as a group.
But so the photo, that last photo I posted where he's like at a podium talking, right? Like you got to think of it this way. Like if it's part of his job is to speak in front of, like I don't know. It's probably not considered public speaking in the sense of it's like a private thing. It's not a public thing, but it's still, I guess it's considered public speaking. But anyway, he's a public speaker in that sense where he talks to people a lot. So he definitely must have like a big outgoing personality.
Well, yeah, I think that he's definitely a people person.
Hmm.
Because yeah, he looks like a very outgoing person, and he does have a lot of good stories about the strip club. And I feel like going into the strip club and not freaking the women out because you're either weird or strange or ugly or creepy. You have to have a good, outgoing, easygoing personality, so women aren't like freaked out by how weird you are. So yeah, I think that he definitely is a easygoing, easy to get along with type guy.
Yeah, and I mean, all the ladies liked the photo with the sunglasses. So if he rolls in the strip club with the sunglasses on, with the white facial hair, I feel like he could be like a smooth operator.
Ah, I don't know about that. I mean, he definitely is rolling deep with the money
Hmm.
because a bunch of the different reviews was like, we had thousands of bands, we have thousands of dollars to drop, or so
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, he's probably if he's been in the Navy till I'm sure he got a lot of promotions and shit.
Well, yeah, I think he's doing really
And
well.
pension, like pension and whatnot, and extra benefits now and stuff like that too. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Sure.
so that it definitely helps when he goes into the strip club that he's got a lot of money to drop. So a lot of the women are probably like, "Oh, I can deal with Guy Fieri," because he's gonna drop a lot of money, and we're gonna have a good time. He's gonna pop bottles. We're gonna have a good time. So that's probably why he does so well. Oh, somebody in the chat said that they would love to see who he rolls in the club with. Me too. Me too, because I
Yeah.
was like, are his friends his age? Are his friends the younger Navy guys? Like, I have so
I
many
think they're
questions.
younger. I think they're younger Navy guys.
Because I
Yeah,
was,
maybe. Yeah, maybe he's like the OG and he brings the young ones around.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because I was like, maybe he's like he was like their commander. I don't know what ranks are in the army. I'm sorry. Like he was their superior, and then now that he's retired and they're a little older, he probably still hangs with them like on a non-professional level. Because when you're in the army, you're living together,
You
you're
mean the
working.
Navy? Yeah.
Navy. Yeah, you're living together, you're working together, you're doing everything together. So these guys are like family to you. So I was like, now that he's no longer in the Navy, he's probably still hanging out with some of these people because they were like his family. Because you're on a boat, you can't even like escape these people. So I was like, he probably hangs at the club with like 20, 30, 40 year olds, right? Because he's probably, I don't know, I'm assuming between 55 and 59. That's just my guess. But you're right. I
Yeah.
think that he probably rolls deep with younger Navy guys,
Mhm.
or I don't know. I don't see him hanging with guys his age, right? Do you? I don't know. I feel like they're a little younger.
I don't, but let me
Mm-hmm.
read let me read more like comments in the Patreon member chat, which y'all should join. So Sherry says that was so funny. I was not expecting Guy Fieri. Haha. Let's see. You already read one, so let me skip that one. Um, let's see. Laurie says he was at the podium making sure his favorite strip club didn't get shut down. Lana says, Lana says, let you tell it. Wow, it looks like a neighbor. And
Wait,
then
one of Lana's neighbors? What? Okay. What if
He
XXX
does give that like
he
neighborly
he
vibe.
gives off like the guy next door.
Oh,
Yeah, like the
yeah.
Ned Flanders.
There's a guy on my street that looks like that, actually.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then Amberlee says the most inconspicuous people are the ones who frequent the most. That's where the money's
Oh.
at.
Oh, so the guys that go in there with a big gold chain on that are try to look rich, those are probably the ones that don't have any money.
Mhm. And Jenny asks, how recent is his most recent review? Um, I don't know. Gina responded,
Do you know? Oh, she already responded. Okay.
yeah, so
Yeah,
those
I'll
are.
have to go back and check all the ones that I sent. So I'm gonna say
Mhm.
between 2021, 22. Haven't seen anything for 2023 or 2024, but I'll have to go back. Jenny, is it okay if I get back? I'll get back to Jenny about that and post it on the Patreon when like the last time he posted something.
Like
Oh.
Heather in the chat said, this is a theory. I don't think it's really necessarily valid, but she says maybe his wife was an entertainer slash dancer, let's say. And then she says, my partner used to do club security. No big deal to me.
Oh, so he was working security at the strip club. I mean, that's true. Maybe he met her while he was in the Navy and she was a dancer, right?
Mhm.
So she
Yeah.
wouldn't really care if he was frequenting the strip club because that's where they met. That makes sense. And a lot of I've talked to guys that were in different branches of the military, and sometimes they'll be overseas and they'll meet an Asian woman and they'll get married, and or they'll meet a girl that maybe was an escort in some country and then they'll get married and bring them over here. That's very possible. That's very, very possible. So like that maybe explains why he could go to the strip club every freaking weekend and have a wife that didn't give him an issue. That would make sense. I don't
True.
know. I feel like most women would have a problem if you were going to the strip club every weekend. Like I know if you go for like your birthday or for certain specific occasions, she might be okay with it. But like if you're married and your husband is at the strip club every weekend, I feel like that would be an issue.
Mhm. So, by the way, Gina's for later in the show. So, do have strip club reviews or what?
Yep.
Okay. So, all right, let's just go back to our topics list. That was a nice little. I hope the reveal was worth the hype, though.
I was happy. When Gina called me,
Mm-hmm.
um, we were in the hospital, the little conference room where you go to like talk with family. We had just had a meeting in the conference room with all the family from out of town, and I was in like a horrible mood because we were making some serious decisions. And then Gina called me, and it was so nice to talk to us about
I
something
was checking in
normal.
on you, and then I'm like, I got shit to tell you. You had already posted it on Patreon, so
I didn't see it though because we were
yeah, you didn't
talking
see it.
about that.
Yeah.
So I was so excited because I was sitting in the room and I was like not in a good mood, and she was like, "Guess what?" She's like, "We know who XXX is," and I was like, "Shut your goddamn mouth!" I was like, "You're lying," and she was like, "No, I'm not," and I was like, "Give me a hint," and she was like, "Ain't no way! I'm not telling you nothing."
Well,
So
I'm glad we like revealed it where we could get your live reaction on the show.
Well, I wanted to know really bad, and Gina was
Yeah.
like, "Nah, you're not doing that. You're not ruining this for us." So, but she called me and told me that y'all had his identity, and it was like I was like, "No, you don't. How?" Because the last time I had talked to everyone about it, he wasn't responding. Nobody knew who he was, so I was really surprised.
Okay, now do you want? Should we say his first name or not?
Oh, so we have his name.
Well, we have his full name, but I don't. I'm not going to give his full name, but
No,
No, don't give it full
but
name.
I'm willing. Maybe if you think I could give his first name, maybe if you think that's okay.
is it Steve?
No.
No.
Okay, I don't know
Maybe
why.
we should.
I feel like he looks like a Steve.
Uh huh. People,
Is it like an American name or is it like a
Mm,
Hawaiian name?
okay, it's an people in the chat guess his name. It's an American name.
Wait, they guessed it?
No, I'm saying I want people to guess it.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's an American name. All right, hold on. I need to scroll up to the pictures again, and I want to see who I see when I see these.
Do
And
you, and
no,
then
his name is not Guy.
and then if you
Okay.
want me, if at some point I could give you like the first letter, and then people can just guess names of that first letter. But yeah, people
Um. Oh
guess
my
his
God,
name.
Laurie said Bob. I'm getting Bob too. That's funny.
Mm,
Bob.
No,
It's not Bob.
nope.
People keep saying Blaine. I don't know. I don't see that. I'm
Should
gonna
I say the
go.
first letter or
I'm gonna
whatever?
go with Robert.
Nope.
No. Uh, is it Mark?
Okay, what's a better first hint? Like the first what's a better first hint? Like the first letter or the number of letters in the name?
Well, the first letter for me,
Well, that would make it easier, but
because
okay. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's start with the number of letters, and then if people don't guess it, I'll say the first letter, and then I'll probably make it easier. So let's start with the number of letters. It's like it's 4 letters.
is it Jeff?
How did you know?
That's just what I guessed. Is it Jeff?
It's Jeff.
Oh, damn, my bad. I didn't mean to ruin this for you guys. I if you look in the chat, I typed James first and then I typed Jeff. And then after I typed that, I was like, I really think it's Jeff. I don't know why. I just feel like that sounds. I'm sorry that everyone in the chat hates me.
Yeah, you ruined the game.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I don't know. I just it was just what
Yeah.
when I was looking at his face, then I typed it. Because if you look, I typed it in the chat first before he said
He
anything.
did.
And I didn't
He
know.
said
I
James and then
literally didn't
Jeff.
know. I was just
Oh
guessing.
yeah, I didn't tell him anything. I just told him how I found him, and that was
I
it.
Yeah,
didn't
so his
I'm sorry.
Jeff is his name.
Jeff in the Hawaiian shirts. I don't know. That's damn. I wish this would have went on. This was fun. I didn't mean to ruin it, guys. I apologize.
Mm, True.
Well, it can only go on for so long, and then people are gonna get fed up.
Anyway, yeah, so that's Triple X Beast. Hopefully he I mean, our dream was to interview him, so I'm not saying it's not gonna happen, but we're
Well,
basically at his like doorstep, just like waiting for him to like
well, yeah, he might not. He looks like an older gentleman who might not
yeah.
be social media obsessed.
Yeah.
So it could be that he just doesn't know we're looking for him.
Mm,
Like it could be that he's just unaware that there's
mhm.
like all these people that are obsessed with him. He might not even know. So
Yeah, hopefully though, the fact that he's like retired would make it easier for him to appear on a podcast versus if he was active duty or whatever.
well, yeah, we learned from Riley that you can't be just out there doing whatever you want when you're in some branch form of the government or whatever. You just can't be doing it. So yeah, being retired
But
will make it.
at the end of the day, if he doesn't want to do it or just ignores it or whatnot, we have to respect like his wishes
Well,
because
yeah,
he's a
because
family man, right?
he's got a
So
son, right? And maybe his son doesn't know that he's a strip club connoisseur,
Mhm.
so it is what it is. So, or maybe he has brothers and sisters, or, maybe he's really high up in his church right now. And he's like, so maybe he doesn't want everybody to know that he's a strip club connoisseur. So it could be something along those lines too, Jenny. You're right.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, anyway, that was the Triple XB segment. I felt like it was good. We did it at that point instead of waiting all the way at the end. You know.
Jenny's like, maybe he just doesn't know that we're looking for him. And I was like, oh my God, that does sound like we're stalking him. I didn't
No,
hear
but
it.
I purposely like didn't friend request him, and I purposely only hit him up on like Yelp and Instagram. I purposely didn't like go full. I didn't go like full blast in terms of like looking up every single profile he may have and hitting him up on every single profile. Like I purposely didn't, and I didn't friend request him, so I didn't like go all crazy about it. You know what I mean?
yeah, he's
Well,
not Gina Psycho. That's something that I would do.
yeah, there's a such thing as scaring people off. So yeah,
Exactly.
you were like softly were reaching out because
Yeah.
sometimes if you come on too strong, like if you're in a bar and you see a girl that you want to talk to, and if you come on too strong, there's a high possibility you're gonna get a drink in your face.
Mhm.
So you have to not be creepy and come on softly, and make it feel like I'm not a weirdo. So that's exactly how we tried to approach it. So.
Yeah, and my main kind of like tone when I hit him up, I mean, I wrote like two different messages, but anyway, the tone that I try to come across with was, we're like fans of you. You're like a legend. We would love to interview on our podcast. Like it was like I purposely didn't try to come across like in any kind of like nefarious, because anytime somebody like hits up your DMs in terms of like, hey, I know your real name or your nickname and whatever, like I'd love to talk to you. It can kind of be intimidating. So I wanted to come across and kind of like, we're fans of you. You're a legend. You're hilarious. We'd love to talk to you on our podcast. We do like a comedy esque podcast. So that was kind of how I went at it. It's a basically just try to like basically just say like this is not like a negative thing. We would love to talk to you because we're fans.
Well, yeah, that's true too. When somebody DMs you and they're like, I know who you are, you're like, oh, am I getting stalked? So yeah, it is what it is. But hopefully, fingers crossed that he will be on the show at some point. I feel like he's a legend. And it's crazy to me that no one has really like looked him up before because his strip club reviews are insanely entertaining. And there's a lot of Instagram and TikTok and other types of accounts that only focus on strip club reviews and
Mhm.
stuff. So he
Yeah.
has to be a legend, right? He's got to be a legend, and it's just crazy that people haven't really discovered this guy yet.
He is the goat of strip club reviews.
Mhm.
If there was a TV show, you know how Guy Fieri has diners and drive-ins and whatever that show is.
Diners, yeah, diners,
XXX
drive-ins.
Beast would have one called Strip Poles, Strippers, and Chicken Wings. And he would go around the world and just go to strip clubs and tell us how good
And stripper pools.
and stripper pools and tell us, what to order while you're watching them dance. Like that would be his show. And I would watch every single episode.
A burnt turkey leg.
Oh yeah, burnt turkey leg. He's like, you better get one of them burnt turkey legs.
Burnt turkey
Uh,
legs.
here's a funny comment from Laurie. She says, "We're all more entertained learning about Jeff than these idiot 90-day couples."
Oh my god, right?
True.
I know,
True.
right? I
Mm.
really wish the show was interesting anymore, but it's like at this point, we're just watching Sarper and Marty and Stevie and oh, we didn't get Joan and Greg. I actually missed them this past episode. I really wish they were on because literally they're carrying this season on their back.
Hmm.
And who would have thought
Right? Who would have thought that the mama's boy,
the unemployed mama's boy, doughboy
he's
would be the entertainment for this season?
that shows how low the bar is. When you're doing that,
Hmm.
what's that Hawaiian game where you go underneath the bar?
Oh, a limbo or something.
Limbo.
The
That's how
limbo.
we're limboing so far down to the ground at this point. We're like crawling. Like that's how
Hmm.
low the bar is right now.
True. All right. Do you want to like buzz through some topics, new
Oh yeah,
topics?
we still
Sure.
got topics, guys. How weird. We usually
And it's
are
it's
at the end.
yeah, it's 1 a.m. and we still have a lot of topics. But we don't have to turn them into like 30-minute segments. But let's just buzz through them. So Gina was spotted on a hot date in Detroit with like a hotter version of Jasmine, and I was happy to see our buddy Uncle Marco was there. I was excited to see him. So did you see that video and what did you think?
I did see the video of them in the restaurant, and I
Hmm.
did hear the talking in the background, the producers telling them what to do and stuff. I'm excited because we already knew that Gino is going to be on the Single Life, which I'm
Mhm.
very excited for him. I feel like he got screwed over, played and dismissed in his last relationship. So I'm excited to see him back. I think it's awesome that he has a type. He's into these hot, exotic women. I'm living vicariously through Gino at this point. Like I don't know how he does it, but I'm very impressed. I'm very, very impressed.
No, I love that it's like a hotter version of Jasmine, and hopefully that'll set Jasmine off.
I hope so. I hope she's younger than her, and I hope that she doesn't have any baby weight to lose. Like, I hope this really irritates the hell out of Jasmine because that's what I want. Like, I hope that she's super irritated by this whole situation because, she's not a friend of the show, right? Like,
And yeah, also like, and I know I mentioned like Uncle Marco like when I first brought up the segment, and I want to say like I was proud to see Uncle Marco because I was happy to see him because first of all he was of course on 90 Day Fiance Fridays. Go back and listen to the episode. So it's good to know the fact that like Gina's family member who we had on the podcast is still welcomed on the official 90 Day show. So they must have liked his segment when he was on here. Is they're like, yeah, we got to get him on like Single Life.
I thought he was good. I think Uncle Marco he's good entertainment. I do.
Yeah, true. But anytime we have a podcast guest back on the official 90 Day show is nice to see.
I know, right? It's nice to see them going back, recurring, being back on the show, and it shows that they still got it. They're still relevant. They're still holding it down. Uncle Marco was always a favorite of mine though because he has zero filter. He's opinionated, and he
Mhm.
doesn't really care who's mad. Like I love people like that.
Yeah, he's an OG Italian guy.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, so Gina, you said that I'm sorry, guys. The last review was 20 to 20. Well, I can't talk. 2020 to 2022. And Amberlee says he probably got married in 2022. No, I think that, well, no, that would mean that he would have just had kids at like his age. I think he's probably been married for a while, my guess.
All right. Well, we don't want to. Let's move on. As much as I love
Yeah.
Triple X Beast, we've kind of moved on. But we will have Gina. Well, is there a triple later at the end of the show? Is there a new Triple X Beast review to read?
Yep.
Okay, so that's the teaser for later. There's going to be a brand new Triple X Beast review to read. So,
Oh,
but
okay.
so we'll get back onto Triple X Beast. But so okay, what did you think of? Was that was a hot date with Gino? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I was excited to see it. I'm happy that Gino got that video out there because it got to rub it into Jasmine's face, and I don't think Gino was too upset that that leaked because it was a big fuck you to Jasmine.
No, screw Jasmine. I'm tired of her.
So yeah, that was
I'm
pretty
sick of her.
true. So that was that video. That was pretty cool. There's the Rose. I hate to give free OF promotion, but there's the Rose OnlyFans thing. And my only question or my only surprise was that like TMZ seemed to really care that like Rose is on OnlyFans, which is a surprise to me.
It was a surprise to me too. I didn't understand. Rose is very irrelevant to like the franchise. Like she's there, but only if you're a huge fan of the franchise. So the fact that TMZ reported it was really weird to me.
It's whoever her publicist is. It
So
had to be.
do you think that they paid TMZ to report it? Like do you think it was like a paid promotion? Because I've heard allegedly
Probably.
that TMZ will promote things if you ask them to with the right amount of money. This is allegedly, by the way. But do you think
Yeah,
that
because
that's
how else would she be able to get the word across that she's on OF besides her Instagram or social media? If she doesn't have enough followers, and then you post a picture of her on TV and it goes nationwide for all these guys that don't watch 90 Day Fiance.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if like I wonder if she does it on her own or if she like is doing a lot of those OF girls they sign with like a little management company and then that company manages their OF account and stuff.
Yeah, I've heard
Well,
about
let's
that.
see what I can find.
I don't know, but because yeah, with those bigger accounts, what they'll do is they'll sign with a company, but then the company will have like guys in India responding to the horny DMs.
Oh God.
So yeah, that's the whole spiel. Anyway, congratulations, Rose, on your newest endeavor. You know how to do publicity. I'm not mad at you. So yeah, since we didn't, I'm just buzzing through our topics. So since we didn't do a show last Sunday, we've yet to really talk about this. Well, I guess we mentioned it. We've hit a little bit of topics here and there tonight, but we didn't formally discuss the last Sunday show, and we didn't formally discuss 90 Day Diaries. So if there's any like
Oh yeah, we
topics
didn't.
related.
Well, there were two bachelor parties on the episode, which those are always fun.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one in Jessica's bachelor party with Well, they weren't joint. They went to different places. And then somebody else had a bachelor party. Was it Stevie and Marty? Yeah, Stevie and Marty had a bachelor party as
But I
well.
feel
But
like that one is more of a teaser. Like they didn't really show that yet,
well,
right?
yeah, they haven't really shown it, but it was like a joint bachelor
Mhm.
party, and she took him to see a burlesque show, which I don't know, probably was producer driven, because anyone who knows Marty knows that one thing he hates more than bisexual people are boobs. So I don't know. I feel like that was probably driven by the producers. They're like, "Oh, take him here because this will make him super uncomfortable or
Mm.
whatever." But I just want to talk about the fact that Jessica let Juan get lap dances and topless dances, and she didn't care at all. Like, can we just take a moment to appreciate Jessica as a wife? Because she actually wanted him to get danced on. And when we were watching the show, usually the women are like, "You better not touch nobody. You better not look at nobody. You better not have fun. You better not see any boobs." So I just like the fact that Jessica was like, "Oh yeah, go see some naked chicks." I'm totally fine with that. Like, I appreciate that as a wife. Like, she's a good wife.
Well, okay, the only that whole the one Jessica thing, the part of that whole episode that kind of was weird slash forced to me. It felt like the producer kind of pushed him to do it. Was when it was at the end of the night after they both had their individual parties, bachelorette parties, and then they all got back together and they got back in bed or they got into bed, and then that was at that inopportune time was when Juan told her like, yeah, I'm maybe considering going back on the boat like for a contract, and it kind of ruined the night. But I feel like that was so crowbarred in. I feel like the producers told him to say it at that time.
Well, yeah, because of his hesitation, the
Yeah,
way he
because any
hesitated.
like if it wasn't for a reality show, if it was any sane person, it's like you're back home and you're maybe he had beer dick or whatever, like booze dick, whatever it's called, where maybe you wouldn't even be able to get hard. But at that point, if you're back home after your bachelorette parties and you're in bed, that's when you'd like hook up. So the fact that he like brought on bad news at that time, that was like so forced for the show.
Well, yeah, he was basically making sure he wasn't going to get any that night, which you're right. No
Yeah,
one would do that. So
yeah,
yeah, it was kind of forced, and I'm beginning to think that the ship thing is a storyline. Because
yeah.
he was like, "Oh, it's only 8 months," and I was like, "8 months? Your baby's like 8 months or like less." I was like, "There's no way you're gonna actually go on the boat for 8 months. Like, that's not even a thing." So I'm beginning to think that they're crowbarring that in there too. Like, I don't think that they actually have any real issues, and I don't think that he's actually trying to go back on the boat. I think that that's just something that they're using to add a little controversy to the storyline.
Yeah, so that was that. I was surprised at how drunk the cop guy got.
Me too. Me too. Okay, so when I found out Herbie was in charge of the bachelor party, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be boring. Like, there's nothing gonna be fun going on." They had to carry him into the house, so
Hmm.
I was just like, "Oh, this is." I don't know why I expected him to be like the world's biggest Karen, but he actually was the only one that actually had a good
The life
time.
of the party.
Yeah. So I misread
But he is
Herbie.
married to Megan, so
I
you
mean,
know.
that's true. If you want to have a good time, you have to do it
Hmm.
at the strip club and not with your wife. No offense, Megan, but I feel like she probably is definitely not doing anything like freaky because
Hmm.
she's so like, I don't know, she's just so Karen. So I was just,
Like milk toast.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like Herbie had a good time because he knew he wasn't gonna have that much fun at home, so he made the best of it. And
He needed to like unload the steam.
exactly, literally. And because I was like, damn, the cop is the only one getting like carried into the house. I misread the conversation completely. He seems like the cop that will pull you over and give you a warning. Those are the
Mhm.
best ones, right? Like, those are the best ones. They pull you over and like make you feel bad for speeding and then tell you to leave. Those are the best ones.
Yeah, so maybe Herbie isn't a bad guy after all.
No, I know. I feel like I misjudged Herbie and I feel bad about it now. Like, I totally
Yeah.
misread it and I feel like he's actually a cool guy and I take back all the stuff I said.
True.
Megan's just vanilla.
And then it wasn't this isn't like this isn't like a show topic, it's more of like a social media topic, but and I guess Joan, aka Donut Boy's woman, she has like a niece back home.
Well, at first I thought you said she had a kid.
Yeah, like so when somebody, because people that are fans of my content, occasionally they'll DM me like people's posts and stuff for suggestions for me to post stuff. So they sent me the photo of like Joan and a kid or whatever. Well, Joan posts with a kid, and somebody when the person initially sent it to me, they're like, "Yeah, this is Joan's daughter." But then, and so I just like went with it. But then, so anyway, I was like, when I'm sometimes when I'm commuting, I'll have an opportunity to post stuff, but I didn't really like analyze it. I didn't analyze the caption that thoroughly. So I posted it, and then as soon as I posted it, it was like, no, that's not her daughter. It's like her niece. And then when everyone in the comment section said it was a niece, I kind of like changed. I updated the caption, but so for a millisecond, I did think it was a daughter, but really it's just a niece.
When I saw it, I was surprised. I was like, wait, she has a daughter. She didn't mention it. But it wouldn't be too crazy because we know Stevie has 2 kids that she's never mentioned once on the show either. So it's
Mhm.
not out of the realm that this person could have kids and not discuss it on the show. Because, I mean, remember Larissa? She did discuss her kids on the show. Somebody sent me a picture of Larissa at a baseball game the other day. And I was just thinking about that because I was like, dang, she's like living her best life. She's at a baseball game. What are those kids doing?
Mhm.
Like, do you think they even like remember her? Do they think like she's ever coming home? Is that like the female version of like I went to go get milk and never came back? Like, I just was wondering like what's going through her kid's mind? Like, do they like have any hope of her coming back, or have they like assumed she's never coming back? Like, I was just curious.
They've lost
Mhm.
all hope.
Yeah, they
Do they?
probably would. They wouldn't be able to pick her out of a police lineup if that's what you're asking.
Whoa, hell no. She looks nothing like what she used to look like. They literally, you know what? She could literally go back home and walk past her kids and they probably wouldn't recognize her. Now that you put it, like you said it, they wouldn't even
Yeah,
recognize her because she looks so different.
exactly. Like they'll be like, "Oh, mommy, now that I saw your boobs, I don't even have to visit the Las Vegas Sphere because I just visited it twice at one time."
They are
Well, the
huge.
last time I saw your boobs is when I was sucking on them. So, you know.
That's probably accurate too. That's so wild. That's so wild because I was thinking about that. I was like, do they think she's like dead? Do they think that she like? Because like, what do you tell kids? Because kids don't fully understand like stuff like that. So I was like, wonder what her family even says at this point. You know, like, because what are you even telling them? Because sometimes the younger the kids, you can't tell them really what's going on. So I was like, I wonder what they even are telling them at this point. Because I feel like she's just never going back.
Mhm.
Or I mean,
She's
maybe
from
she,
Brazil, right?
yeah, she's from Brazil. I mean,
I
I'm
know
not.
exactly what her parents are saying to
What
her
did they
A-
kids.
say?
a- Anyways,
They're saying,
I don't want to give
yes,
Larissa
up,
I
up
don't want to
on
give
it.
Larissa too much attention because I don't like her.
Oh no, I don't like her either. I hate her. She's awful. And you know, I think that she's a very manipulative, self-centered person. So yeah, we don't have to talk too much about her. But I just was thinking about that and I was just like, yeah, I wonder what them kids think about. But yeah, we can move on to the next topic.
True, and then speaking of diaries, so Tiffany was on, and then Daniel was on as well, looking kind of emo like he always does, which I always feel bad for Daniel. But any diaries things you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, Diaries came on. Yeah, let me look through my tweets.
Tweets.
I did tweet
Yeah.
about some of the
Well, yeah, I
diaries.
know 90 Day Bad Boys was on, and I know Tiffany was on, and I don't even
Oh
remember.
yeah, Jamal did his segment,
Oh,
and Soulja Boy did his segment.
oh yeah, Soldier Boy did a song on the show.
Yeah, he did Dream Girl Are You There where he sang live with
Hmm.
no auto tune, and I wanted to get y'all's reaction to Soulja Boy's live microphone voice. Like, what did you guys think? Was it better than you thought, worse than you thought, exactly what you thought? Like, what were your thoughts?
I mean, I assume, yeah, okay. I mean, I will say it was a good segment to see. I'm not saying he's like the world's most amazing songwriter, but it was an interesting segment to see him like creating the song that he was working on.
Oh, so you were actually kind of impressed?
I don't impressed is kind of a strong word because impressed would suggest that I'm not creative as well and as if I couldn't do what he does. But it was still nice to see a fellow artistic creative person, in their element.
Yeah, he did create something. Let's
Mm.
say that. He did create something. I don't know if it's gonna be a hit. I'm just
Mm.
joking. It's not gonna be a hit. But he did create something, but it was interesting to watch, and I liked how he pretended like he didn't know who baby girl Lisa was. And again, I don't know if that had something to do with TLC because she was terminated from the franchise, so maybe they don't want to use her likeness or her photo. Because when they say my 90-day journey started, and then they start
Oh
playing
yeah.
flashbacks, so like maybe they were like, well, we don't want to play a flashback of her because we don't deal with her anymore. Because he said it started with Kimberly, and I was like, don't lie, you can't just pretend like you
No,
didn't.
that's a good point. That is kind of interesting, and that is definitely like inauthentic. Like that was kind of shitty. They should have at least flashed for a millisecond and showed Lisa just in a still photo or something.
Well, right. That was a huge part of 90 Day Fiance. Like that's Usman and Lisa storyline is a huge part. It would be in the 90 Day Hall of Fame of storylines. So the fact that they acted like it never happened, it's stupid. You can't pretend like something didn't happen. That was some of
Yeah.
the main audience, the people that still watch the show today got there during that time, during that situation. So the way that they try to act like things never happened, it kind of irritates me. It's like
Yeah, it's called 90 Day Diaries, but we're not allowed to write in our diaries the first chick on the show that Usman banged, you know?
right, right. And it's like, come on now. And actually, Colty did it too. Now that I'm thinking about it, he skipped over Jess.
Mm.
Which is even more ironic because my theory of well, we don't want to deal with people we fired. Colty only discussed Larissa. He didn't mention Jess, and we know Larissa was fired too. So I was like, so my theory makes no sense because I was like, well, they didn't want to talk about Lisa because she was fired, but they let him talk about Larissa instead of Jess. The whole thing is just, I don't know. I don't understand why they do
Hmm.
it that way, but I don't like it. I think that you need to be authentic to what the show was. And
Yeah.
if you ended up banging baby girl Lisa, you got to talk about it, right? You can't just act like it didn't happen because you did it. You did it.
True. All right. So we have like before we get to strip club reviews, we have two topics. So there was it's something that I didn't post about, but I got DM'd about it. Anyway, so there was some like, and let me just start begin this topic with the words like allegedly in capital letters. There was like a Rishi DV domestic violence allegation from his like I guess wife that was going around today.
What? I didn't hear about that. So I knew that he was married. We all saw that because it kind of happened kind of quickly
It's
after.
well, it's weird too. So I got the DMs. I didn't really analyze them too in depthly. I feel like there was one of the DMs though that said like that they technically didn't get married. I don't know, but then there was his let's call her his wife anyway, where she posted a video, not like still photos of like like with bruises, allegedly with bruises and all, and like allegedly a black eye, allegedly bruises. So she posted like a score of pictures and stuff.
Oh shit.
So I should like find them and send them to you or something.
Oh, you didn't post it. Oh, okay.
I didn't post it. Again, in the context of this situation is different, but I have a problem with. I don't like his wife because I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but she like well, let's just say she copyright strike one of my posts back in the day, so I don't like her based on that.
Oh,
But
oh, I knew about that. I remember that.
yeah, but I could send you some of the shit that was going around. I don't know.
I mean,
She
this is all alleged. We don't know what's going on. They're all the way in India, so we don't know what's going on. But, huh?
Yeah, it's one of those things where like it's literally like there's probably like 20 his wife or whatever posted probably like 25 stories all about this shit. So I'm not gonna send you like 25 photos right now, but I could send you some real quick.
And has Rishi said anything?
I don't know if he said anything publicly, but in one of the messages that she posted, like for example, when she posted the photos of her like bruised up pictures, he basically like responded like take that post down, and then she posted like that chat of him telling her to take the photos down or whatever. So I could just send you. I'm gonna send you real quick like four photos in our host group chat. So yeah, I don't really know what to say about it other than yeah, that's going around. But I just sent you some photos.
I just looked at her Instagram.
Hmm.
There's like 150,000 stories.
Yeah, she did probably like 30, 40 stories or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't
Okay.
know. That's going on. I don't really know commentary wise what we could really add to it, but there's one thing where so she posted the photos of her bruises and shit allegedly, and then Rishi responds, "Babe, please remove this." And she captioned that photo, that screenshot as "great memories," obviously sarcastic, but so anyway, that's the whole thing. I don't know how much we really need to get into it beyond what we just said.
Yeah. I would love to know more before I discuss any of it, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of that's why I didn't really post about it because it's
You
like,
know how some people will get into a fight
hmm
and then they'll make up? Because like what if I don't know their situation, but like what if she's mad at him today, but then they'll get back together? And
yeah, she seems. Again, I'm not trying to speak ill of someone if she is a victim or not, but based on my personal prior experience with her, first of all, again, I'm not trying to shit on her if she's in a dire predicament, but she's definitely a fame whore. I think she was trying to be like a celebrity chef. She definitely is an asshole because she like copyright struck me, and yeah, she's full of shit in a lot of ways. So I don't really like her, but so that's going on.
yeah. I believe.
Anyway, so then okay, the final topic before we hit strip club reviews and end the show is you wanted to talk about Tiger Lily's book.
Oh yeah. Her book. Okay, yeah. So I found out that she has a book. What was it called again?
I would have to look it up, but I just remember the cover photo looked like AI generated, obviously.
Hold on, I'm gonna try to find the name of the book. Tiger Lily.
I sent it to you on Amazon, like Amazon, George, if you want to look back at our conversation.
Oh my god, you did. Yeah, you did. It's called Caviar and Curly Fries.
That's like the dumbest fucking name, right?
Yes, it's called Caviar and Curly Fries, and it's live on Amazon. It says it dropped in the US, but will be in international markets in the next few days. This bitch thinks that people know who she was internationally, but okay. Okay, so I was a little surprised. Okay, and it says the handbook of a refined taste and limited access. What does that
Mhm.
mean?
I have no idea, but please don't spend your money on it.
I
Oh
mean,
Lord, no. Like I'm surprised she can even write.
I was surprised. Okay, so Gina, that's where I was at because when I saw that she wrote a book, I was like, well, I didn't even know she could read. So writing was beyond my realm. So I kind of want to read it just to see how
Oh
shallow she really is. Like, I kind of just want
God.
to read like a couple of pages.
Hmm.
And keep in mind that this is a audiobook. There's no actual.
Oh God. It's an
Oh,
audio book. Can you change the voice on it?
Wait,
I'm gonna read you an overview. Okay. Caviar and Curly Fries, the handbook for the refined taste with limited access by Tiger Lily Person. Why choose between caviar and curly fries when you can have both and at the same time? Softness and strength, boundaries and glow. Caviar and curly fries is for anyone ready for their own life and style. Real luxury isn't about choosing one thing over the other. It's about having it all. It's about embracing the high and the low, the soft and the strong, and doing it unapologetically. The book isn't about perfection, it's about power. The kind of power that doesn't have to scream but still demands attention. The kind that says, I'm here and you're going to notice whether you like it or not. Inside, you'll learn how to live with purpose, poise, and just the right amount of sass, setting boundaries that will make people respect you. Okay, so that's the overview of the book. Did you get any chat GBT from that? Because I did.
it sounded like word salad.
Yes, yes. I was like, I don't even think she wrote this. I think
Mhm.
it's
It was
like,
probably a ghostwriter.
yeah, I mean, but why would you even want to read a book by Tiger Lily? Like, I have so many questions. Like,
I mean, I feel like that's good to read to someone to put them to sleep.
yeah. Of anybody to be giving people advice, Tiger Lily's not the person.
She's no triple X beast when it comes to words. I'll tell you that.
No, not at all. So guys, this is on Amazon. If you have money that you just want to set on fire for no reason and you just don't want
Mhm.
anything, that's there. And you can also go and shop at her boutique that only exists online, where she will drop ship you items from China and charge you thousands of dollars for them. You can do that as well.
Yeah, I remember that show where we like analyzed her crazy. I don't know if it was. Remember I think we went over all her shit, their boutique or whatever, how expensive it
Yeah,
was.
there wasn't a lot of stuff in it. I think we were really surprised at like the $6,000 jacket that she wore on the show. That's what we were really surprised by. Wait, Heather said there's only 76 pages. Is that
Yeah,
true? That's it?
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
she did write it. I mean,
No, it's
76
a
pages.
ghostwriter. She's too stupid to write a 76-page book. She's
I
only good
feel
at forging documents.
I feel like she wrote like curly fries and caviar and then put it in the chat GBT and told it to write a book. I feel like that's probably what
Hmm
she did. I can't
Yeah,
prove it, but that's what I feel like she did.
she probably wrote the foreword and said, Adnan, throw some shit on ChatGPT and let's call this a book.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I don't know. I think that she thinks that she's a Kardashian, and I can't warrant why she feels that way, but she definitely thinks that she's really, really famous, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I can't wait till she's a has been, or is she already a has been? I don't know.
In my opinion, she's a has-been. I mean, she'll probably be back on another show, so I guess
hmm
she's not, I guess, because a has-been is usually not recurring on the show, and I'm pretty sure she'll be back. So I guess at this moment, she's not relevant, but she's not irrelevant. I guess that's the best way to put it.
As long as she's not on my TV, we're good. I
Well, yeah,
did
I don't.
see a story, and it looks like he's like he has whatever his name is, has like a receding hairline and is balding.
Oh yeah, he doesn't look like the 23-year-old she married on the show. I've noticed that too.
No.
It's like he got married and he completely let himself go. He looks like he's in his 40s. And I was
Hmm
like, what happened to this guy? Because wouldn't life be easier for him over here? Because I feel like it's much harder. He looks like he's struggling with life. Like he looks tired. His hair is falling out. He doesn't shave anymore. He used to pride himself on being a model. He's like, oh, I'm a model, and and he got over here and he kind of just let himself go. And I was just like,
Mhm.
what happened? What happened to being a fitness trainer? Every time the guys get over here, they're fitness trainers, and it's like he's going in the
Mhm.
opposite direction.
Yeah, no, real quick, and then real quick, as far as her storyline, I guess her having a baby would be her storyline.
Well, probably that, and then probably the cultural differences of raising a baby.
Mhm.
Because I feel like for him, and her style of raising a child, she'll probably raise it American style, where you don't spank the child and the child can talk back to its mom and stuff like that. And I'm assuming he would be the opposite of that, being a Muslim. So I feel like that'll probably be their storyline, that he'll want to raise the child differently than she'll want to raise the child. I mean, that's just what I'm assuming. I can't think of anything else that they'll be able to use as a storyline.
True. So that's the Tiger Lily thing, which brings us to our strip club reviews of the night.
Oh, this is fun. I feel like we were already doing strip club talk when we did the reveal earlier, so this will be like the rest of what we were doing earlier. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay. So here's we have about let's see. Well, let's just start from the beginning. But let's see. Which this is in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Oh,
Can
I
I
think
just say something? So I
yeah.
think this strip club, before you start reading the reviews, because it's kind of all over the place, I think there was like two strip clubs into one, like, or like side by side, basically. So because the
Hmm.
reviews talk about other strip clubs too, but you'll get into it. You'll see what I mean. So I just wanted to give that as a warning.
Yeah, so it looks like it's called, this is Chattanooga, Tennessee. It looks like it's called Diamonds and Lace Show Bar. And yeah, should we get started?
Yeah,
Yeah,
diamond.
let's do it.
Let's see.
Okay, first review. This is from the username is Strip Club Bruh One. And he says 2-star review. It says, let's see, let me compose myself. It says, it says, I used to go to Babes, which is next door all the time. Most of the good looking, clean dancers they had, like Moet and Jasmine, left, and I don't blame them. The other hoes in there beg for money, and they fat and ugly. One hoe had a rash up her ass and wanted to suck me up in the bathroom. It's sad. It was like it was like around last December, but it seems like now they let any hood rats that's ugly with missing teeth bring their skinny with no ass or fat as hell with 9 kids ass on the stage to work. Don't waste your time. Go ahead and drive to Atlanta instead. One end of review.
Oh, did he end it with one?
Yeah, like one love.
Oh, okay. So how do you know she has a rash all the way up her ass? I'm just curious. Like, how did you know? Like, I have so many questions.
I don't know, but she wanted to suck him up in the bathroom.
Oh, maybe that's how he came across the rash.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, wow, there is a lot there. And this is Tennessee. Also, there's a strip club next door.
Yeah,
Well,
I think it's like a strip club next door, or there
it's
was like a
it's
name
like a
change.
maybe it's like a Taco Bell KFC combo situation.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking maybe they're rival strip clubs. And like you know how, well, I don't know if y'all watch The Righteous Gemstones, but when the one guy opened a church across the street from the other people's church and then they were like rival churches, I was like, what if they were rival strip clubs? And like they were like trying to compete with each other. I don't know.
Hmm. I don't know, but let's buzz through these. Okay, this is Bring the Rain, 3 stars. It says no cover charge on Wednesdays, bikini bar only on Tuesday and Wednesday. Overall, great bar, except the annoying "Did you like my dance?" If I liked it, I would have tipped at the stage. Rain is by far the best woman out there. She is super hot. Lovely and Lola are also very good also. Overall, good place to see some dancers. 3 stars from Bring on the Rain. So I guess
Uh,
apparently, so wait, it's like if you go there on a Tuesday or Wednesday, it's a bikini
It's a
bar
bit,
only.
yeah, no nudity, I guess.
And that's definitely a Debbie Downer type of situation.
That's like going to one of those weird southern towns where it's dry on certain days you can't drink. Like
Hmm.
that is such a buzzkill.
Hmm. True. Okay, here's a 4 out of 5 star review from, which is one sentence long, from Ron Cavet. He says, I love Alicia, parentheses, Angie, but be careful about those breakouts, parentheses, herpes.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a very loaded one sentence review.
yeah, that there's a lot of warnings in there.
Yet it still got 4 out of 5 stars. So just
How could
watch
you
out
give
for the
it
herpes
four?
breakouts.
How do you give it 4 out of 5 stars when you could get herpes?
He is scared of those herpes.
I don't know. Maybe Alicia slash Angie isn't the one with herpes, but maybe her coworkers allegedly might.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here's a 2 star review from Big Squirm, and it says Foxy is such an airhead. She can't even remember her own club name and gets drunk and refers to herself as Casey Smithers. Duh. That's it.
AC Smithers.
Who's Smithers on Simpsons?
That's Mr. Burns's boyfriend slash
Okay.
assistant,
Never mind. Yeah, I don't know.
Waylon Smithers.
Yeah,
He's
Waylon
gay.
Smithers. Yeah.
He's gay, but definitely is not gay.
True. All right, here's a 2 star review from Charlie. It says, Dancers ranged from chunky to skinny with a beer belly. They didn't try hard off stage, and I wasn't exactly impressed with on stage performance either. The dancers were not particularly fit. Puss in Boots is actually better since the dancers seem to put a lot more effort into their work. I was somewhat disappointed with Diamonds and Lance. So I guess there's another club called Puss in Boots with better chicks. Here's a 1-star review from username Staff Sucks Now. It says the staff that is here now just plain sucks. The girls are all right. The DJs just plain suck and don't have any clue on what they're doing. The door people are a joke, and with the people that run the floor. So I guess this person just doesn't like anybody that works there, pretty much.
I mean, I didn't know people were going there to like be cool with the employees. I thought you were just going there to watch the girls dance. I mean, I feel like the people who work at the strip club are supposed to be mean because they got to keep the guys in line. You know, like you can't be nice because if that was the case, people are gonna act unhinged and touch when they're not supposed to touch and stuff. I feel like they have to be mean.
Yeah. All right, here's a 1-star review from Mad Dog. It says, way too much for nothing in return. Private dances are a joke. This club is way overrated since they have a few hot women, but rules and lies rule. Don't waste your money or time here. Atlanta is much better for the money and the girls. So just a lot people keep referencing Atlanta, so I assume Chattanooga, Tennessee must not be too far from Atlanta, Georgia, because that seems like a regular theme. All right, here's a 1-star review from Loser. And that's not an editorialized name. That's his name. It says Loser. It says, that fat fuck's name is Richard Cantrell, not Ron C. He told me a bunch of shit about Alicia face to face. He's a fucking two-faced bastard. You know me, don't you, asshole? Yes, it's me. I told Alicia that shit you said. They washed their hands of your ass. I bet you read this shit every day. You're not even on their fucking site, idiot. Do you want me to post some shit about you? I seen it all, motherfucker. 1-star.
So wait, did he have an issue with the strip club or just one specific person?
I don't
I
know.
think with one specific person. Like,
Yeah,
given the other reviews, like there's a lot of like back and forth, ranting back and forth. That's why I said I think there's two clubs side by side, like next to each other. So it's just like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that drama's all about, but it did make me laugh. It was very intense, and
I
I
feel
feel
like that was a text message to someone he didn't like, but
Mhm.
he wrote
Yeah.
it as a review.
I feel like my read of that was pretty good. Not to put a feather on Cap.
No, yeah, it was very good. I felt the aggression in it. I
Yeah,
did.
yeah, it was like Shakespeare After Dark or something. Okay, this is Angie 5-star review. I assume Angie's a woman. DJ Penis Rock was a drug out of club in handcuffs and charged with drug possession for resale. The chocolate taco is gone. End of review. I have no idea what any of that meant.
So
I think it
wait,
was the DJ because they're talking about other
Mhm.
like the DJ in other reviews, but they weren't funny. Yeah, he's the one that got kicked out for
so the
selling
DJ at the
drugs.
club.
Oh, he got dragged out of the club in handcuffs and was charged with drug possession for resale. The chocolate taco is gone. And the
They must
DJ's
have
name
sold.
is DJ Penis Rock, which is a pretty good like strip club DJ name, I will admit.
I did.
DJ Penis Rock on the ones and twos. Tip your waiters and your bartenders and tip your chicks.
Bow, 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 bow.
uh,
I don't know if I would have used that DJ name. I'm just saying.
Jasmine to stage 1. Veronica to stage 2. Anyway, I'm pretending like I'm the house DJ or the PA guy.
Don't get arrested.
True. Here's
Shabooty's
here's a.
next career aspiration: strip club DJ.
I know, right? If this podcast is popular enough, hopefully I could be a celebrity strip club house DJ. All right, here's a Ebony 1-star review. It says, honestly, I worked there for a couple of months and it was okay, but then we started getting some real fucked up ass females that had no rhythm, just a lot of unnecessary mouth. Anyway, I don't think the herpes thing is true neither. Do I care? But on the real, the place needs a major upgrade. End of review.
He doesn't think the herpes thing is real. Like, what do you mean? Think? Oh, you're not sure? Like, I have a lot
He's
of
like, you're not the first review that mentions herpes. That's a little
right.
upsetting.
And she was like, I worked there. I don't think it was a thing, but I don't know. Like, so
Yeah.
how many of the dancers had herpes? Like, I have questions now.
Where there's herpes smoke,
No.
there's herpes fire, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a lot of burning.
Speaking of a lot of burning, here's a 2-star review from username Won't Be Back Again. They say, way too much money, not worth it. The girls beg for money at every dance on stage. The guest dancer ratio is great. The guest to dancer ratio is great because most everyone has figured this out. I'm headed to Knoxville. So that's that. And then I think that leads us to our final review from our famed celebrity reviewer, which would be Triple X Beast.
That was
So
quick. We're like at the end. Seems like everybody was ready to drive to another city, to another
yeah,
strip club. That's crazy.
true. All right, y'all ready for our famed celebrity guest Triple X Beast, aka XXX Beast review?
I'm ready.
Okay, only for this one in particular, because obviously it's so important. Mute your mics until the end. All right, here we go. It's not that long. All right, here's it's a Triple X Beast review, 1-star review. It says, worst club in the continental United States. I can't say in the worst in the US because I've been to Hawaiian clubs. 2 girls were better looking and the 15 were just trolls. Had low expectations going in since the sign outside said, quote, Tuesday ugly, but it was Saturday, for it should have read, quote, Saturday, well, they could be retarded, end quote. Go have a few laughs, wash your hands, and then leave to and never return. Or then leave never to return. End of review. And
Well,
he used the dreaded R word too.
he did use
Yeah,
the R word.
sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't give a warning on that. My apologies, my mistake. I tried to, you know.
Yeah.
But he said that
So
it was the worst club in the continental United States. That's a lot. Like,
outside of the ones that he's been to, Hawaii, this is the worst yet.
wow, that says a lot. You know, that's if he says it's a bad club, it has to be bad. He didn't mention the herpes though.
Yeah, but he did also say he ended it with like, go have a few laughs, wash your hands, and then leave to never return. So the wash your hands part is like, yeah, wash the herpes off your hands.
Oh, well, I don't think herpes is a
No,
washable thing. But
I
yeah,
know I'm being funny, but yeah.
yeah, I think he was implying that it was dirty. And you might leave with something that you didn't arrive with. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think he
Might
was
catch a case.
Yeah.
like the DJ. The
Yeah.
DJ
Or
literally caught
disease.
a case. Well, you don't want either of those. You don't want a case or a disease on your way out of the strip club. So
Yeah, so he basically called the chicks either like ugly or the dreaded R word, you know?
that's mean, but you know, I was a little surprised by the use of the R word. I was a little surprised, but I think that in one of his reviews he
Yeah.
used the N word. Did he?
Oh,
No, that
no, he
was
didn't
someone
use the
else.
N word, but
Or which word did he use?
the only thing, well, didn't see, he said something about like disabled veterans or something.
Oh yeah. You're right. My bad. It wasn't that word. He said
Yeah.
something about that. But you know, I've been seeing that R word resurfacing a lot lately. So
Yeah.
it's like making a comeback. Like for several years, we wouldn't use it. I'm not using it, but like it's made a comeback. People have been using it online.
Yeah, no, it's like all the right wingers all use the R word now.
Yeah, it's like an unbanned word. Like we had banned it many years ago and we stopped using it, and now it's like unbanned now. Like people are just using it like we never stopped using it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this review is from 2021.
I'm a little worried that he might have retired from being a strip club connoisseur. Now that I've found out that the reviews are not like 2023, 4, and 5, I'm
Mm.
extremely worried that he may have hung up his legend strip club connoisseur card, and that would be devastating for me. Like I would be devastated.
Mm. Well, I hope his jersey is like hanging in the rafters of every club.
Well, yeah, there should be a hall of fame of the strip club connoisseurs like there is at the you go to NBA
Mm.
venue, the stadium, and the best players' jerseys are hanging up in the air. His jersey needs to be hanging in the strip club because he's a legend. If he's no longer
Not
going,
jersey, his Hawaiian t-shirts.
oh yeah, his
Mm.
Hawaiian shirts should be hanging and they should be autographed
Hmm.
club because this man is a legend in so many different clubs. Like the fact that, and when he tells you don't go to a club, you probably shouldn't go to that club because some of the ones
No,
that have had horrible reviews, he would still tell you to go. So if he
Yeah.
tells you don't go to a club, don't go to that club. Like I trust him fully on that.
Yeah, he's been in some of those like roach infested S clubs, but still had a good ass time.
yeah, the Lido Lounge.
Mm. Yeah, like some of those clubs with like bed bugs and shit. He was like, yeah, that shit was still good. 4 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did. I think that was the Cleveland one. He was like,
yep,
Was that the one with which was the one with the next to the church or something?
oh,
that
that,
was the Arkansas.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
Arkansas. But
Yeah.
yeah, but the one in Cleveland, the one that they like leveled, it was
Yeah.
so bad. He said that you should go.
Yeah.
It had
Yeah,
bed bugs, and I
because
was like, "Where do you
them
get?"
hoes be grabbing me nuts.
Yeah, and he said it had bed bugs, and I was like, "There's no beds in the strip club, so how do they have bed bugs?" Like that was like so disturbing in itself. But he was like, "You should go and get you a burnt turkey leg." He was like, "That's what you need to do is go get you a turkey leg and watch these titties."
Oh yeah. Go to the I forget the exact word. It was like something truck or
Yeah,
something.
it was some food truck,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Get you a burnt turkey
Like, was it
leg."
That was the
Luke's?
that I wish I could hear like the playback of that because that was funny as fuck.
I
That's
always
why
do at work.
Yeah.
the way that he writes these reviews when we talked about and looked at those pictures, I was so shocked. I don't know why, but he is like a lyricist almost. So when I saw that he would like look like somebody's grandpa, I was just so confused because I was like, I just didn't. I don't know. I don't know what I thought, but I just didn't think he looked like that. So because the way that he writes these, sometimes it's like word. Um, it's like scientifically, like I don't know the word. I don't even know. Like it just goes so well together. It flows so well together. It has a vibe to it. It has an attitude to it, and I don't know. It just almost
Mhm.
like he writes reviews as different people. Like I've read reviews where he sounded black. I've read reviews where he sounded white. I've read reviews where he sounded Hispanic. Like it's almost like he assumes the environment that he's in and he writes a
Mhm.
review in that environment. It's just it's like insane. He's amazing. He's a legend.
He is what's funny because he looks kind of unassuming, but yeah, he's like a masterful writer. So
Well, yeah, he has a way with words. If he wrote a book, I would
Mhm.
read it. If Tiger
Uh
Lily wrote a
huh.
book, I would not.
No, that's true. Like I'm not really a big reader. Power to the people that are big readers. But if Triple X Beast wrote a strip club book of all of his crazy nights and experiences, I would definitely read that.
I would. I would. And I wish that there was a camera crew that followed him around and he had his own
Like Jersey
show.
Shore.
Yes. And then he would take you, like Guy Fieri, you go to every strip club around the world and you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you tell people everything that's right and wrong. That would have been so good.
Hmm.
And if cameras were following him around, this man would be like huge right now because he literally is a connoisseur.
Yeah. Well, what's the name of that show? It's like I guess it's a reality show where it's called like I think it's called like Bar. Oh, I think it's called like Bar Rescue. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
Bar Rescue.
he could do like the strip club rescue version of it.
Yeah, the ones that suck, he can go there and help them turn it around. Kind of like what Gordon
Yeah.
Ramsay does too with all the horrible.
Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah, like strip club nightmares where you go in and you get all the herpes girls out of there. You
Mhm.
clear out the bed bugs. Um,
Yeah.
you get the dog beds off the stage. Like he goes in there and he saves the clubs. Like I would have watched that.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, man, like Matt Sharp, I hope you're listening and like you have the resources. Well, I know his name. We could, but I want like a executive producer credit if I get you in touch with Triple X Beast. But yeah, I feel like there's a show waiting to happen.
I mean, yeah, if he's okay with it.
Hmm.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if he's like a family man now because he did say he's a Christ follower now. Like, I don't know if he wants to like do it, but I hope that he would.
Well, just because you're wearing a cross on your neck, don't mean you don't like a little freaky deaky.
Well, yeah, the ones that wear the cross are the freakiest ones,
Yeah.
So it's very
Yep.
possible. So I'm just hoping that he hasn't hung up the card and he's still going because
Hope he hasn't retired from
That's
the
my
strip
worst
club.
nightmare. My worst nightmare is he's no longer going to strip clubs and reviewing them. Like that's a nightmare.
Mhm.
So the actual one that he was at Leroy's gut truck with the burnt turkey leg was the one in Arkansas.
Oh yeah, Arkansas. It's so weird that he was even in Arkansas. Like it doesn't even seem like why would anyone go to Arkansas? That's why I'm so curious to know like if he is retired, is he just like a traveler? Does he go traveling because he wants to or
Oh, what that reminds me of is like, because I mean, who wouldn't want to do it? But it sounds like a very expensive hobby. But I follow some chicks, they're like 90 Day fans on like Instagram, and basically two sisters. They basically like travel the country and go to like every single Major League Baseball stadium and watch baseball all like everywhere across the country. And it's like I would love to do that, but that's a pretty goddamn expensive hobby.
I
So I
mean
feel like
Baseball is
he's like the strip
boring.
club version of that. Yeah.
yeah, it's very expensive if you're not making any money or just spending money. It's very expensive. So if he's doing that, more power to him. But it could traveling the world and then dropping bans on strippers everywhere you go. It's gonna add up. That is gonna be very expensive to keep up on. I would
Yes.
do it though. I'm envious. Okay, I'm envious. If he gets to do it, I would want to do that too.
You'd
Yeah, I
be a
mean,
sidekick rolling 10 deep.
mm,
Yeah, we can be part of the crew. I'm definitely interested in being part of the crew.
just save me a turkey leg and I'll just pull up on my bicycle with the rest of y'all.
Yeah, and make sure you're um wrapping it up so you don't leave with any herpes or anything
Mm,
that you don't leave with anything you didn't come with.
And yeah, if and I'm definitely down for that Michigan build your own pasta bowl.
Yeah, the builder on pasta night, I'm down. And all you can eat wings. And I think they had all you can eat crab legs. I'm down.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I am down. And also
I'd rather I I'd rather go with the one with the pool
Oh, we
from
forgot about the
last week.
pool.
yeah, I'm really interested. Like
Mhm.
now, one of my life goals is to visit that strip club that has the pool in the back.
But did you see the photos that I posted on my Instagram story of the real pool or whatever?
Yeah, it looked like it was shaped like a heart.
Yeah, but it wasn't in the real photo, like close up. It looked very small, but
Yeah,
Oh
it
yeah,
looked like
yeah,
a
yeah.
dip pool.
Yeah, it was a dip pool, definitely. But I
yeah.
would assume the pool, like my dream would be the pool would be for the girls, and there would be a pole or two coming out of the water, and they would do like water strip aerobics. Like
Yeah, no,
that.
but let's be real. Like that heart pool, oh yeah, it was like it was like kind of like a baby pool almost.
Well, yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It
Would
wasn't
you get into
for.
that pool, George?
If I can get in the pool and it's like waist deep, I'll get in the pool. Yeah, anything
Yeah, because
above.
it's a dip pool.
Yeah, anything above that, I'm not gonna really get in because no. But yeah, that pool I would. Um, the last one of my friends was in town here, and she was at a condo, and she had a pool, and she wouldn't let me live until I got in the pool because she knows I won't get in a pool, like an actual pool. So I had to get in the pool because she wouldn't let me like live. So I was like, I got it. That's the last time I've been in a pool. That was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you put your
True.
feet in and you're good. You're like, bye.
True. All right.
Well,
Well, it's almost 2 a.m. Eastern time. Let me just give a shout outs to some of our live listeners like Amberlee, Heather, Izzy, JL, Lana, Laurie, Musina, which I'm probably saying incorrectly. Pineapple Girl, Sherry, Sophia. So yeah, thank you to our live listeners. I hope the triple X piece reveal was worth it. If you're listening to this on like Spotify, for example, and you're like, hey, wait, I want to see triple X Beast, well, just join us on Patreon, and then you could look at the photos. Because I'm trying to, since we're fans of him and we have such a reverence and respect for him, I don't want to like be disrespectful towards his privacy and post it like publicly on my Instagram, for example. So you got to join our Patreon and go look what Triple X Beast looks like. Trust me, it's worth it.
Yeah, it is. You gonna be shocked. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
Just for your sanity, because whatever you're thinking in your mind, it's not right. You gotta go look because I was so wrong.
Yeah. Oh, and if you do join the Patreon and you're like, where the fuck are the photos? You're gonna have to like, I could do a post, like an individual post, but if you got to hop on the member chat and scroll upwards, but you'll find it.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments from me saying how surprised I was. You guys scroll up a little bit.
Yeah. Anyways, if anyone has troubles, just join and message me, and I'll take care of you. And I think we hit all of our topics pretty succinctly.
Yeah, we actually did really good tonight. I feel like it flowed.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to listen to the playback tomorrow. We'll put the replay on like Apple, Spotify. Yeah, I just want to appreciate our supporters because there's a lot of jealous ass bloggers that want to shit on us, but we're still rocking and rolling, so nothing could slow us down or stop us. So yeah, fuck everyone that isn't on board.
If you're not on board, we don't care. We're still going.
Yeah,
Stronger than ever.
Stronger
true.
and united as ever. So you're losing.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's that. Hopefully, I don't know if we'll do a Sunday show. We'll see, depending on availability. And thank you everyone for listening. Any other things we need to say, George?
No, nothing left. Nothing left.
All right. Well, thank you
No.
everyone for joining us. I feel like it was really exciting with the live
Thanks, everyone.
audience to support us and enjoy this moment with us. And thank you for all the support. And this is a great mental escape. And I know that people that don't have podcasts are jealous of us and our this is like our therapy. And so you can't, you know what I mean? Like you can't stop it. So anyway, thank you everyone. And I guess I'll use my like cheesy little outro, which is thank you for listening to 90 Day Fiance Fridays on
Friday.
Friday.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace out, everybody.
Night.